Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you all for joining me today, Monday, December 16th, 2024. Almost the end of the year. It was a huge weekend. Super excited to be here with you guys and cover all the latest. We've got a bunch of my enemies and the impediments to the truth and the Abrahamic conspiracy getting exposed over the weekend. We've got Nick Fuentes and his Groiper incel cult has been officially in writing, an official declaration, been disavowed and condemned, essentially excommunicated by a top U.S. Catholic bishop organization. And they did it in collaboration with the American Jewish Council, with the Jews. So you couldn't get any more cucked. These are the guys that have been saying for years that you have to be a Catholic or you're a Jew. Catholicism is the only way. It must be a Jesus Catholic movement in opposition to Zionism and Israel and Jews. And now they've been disavowed by their kosher Catholic Church, which I've been saying for years, obviously disavows them. The Pope has been saying for years that anti-Semitism is a sin. These guys trying to salvage the Catholic Church as the only real opposition to Jews, a literally messianic Jewish sect, is not opposition to Yahweh and the Torah and the messianic prophecy conspiracy. Look at this. This is just absolutely atrocious. We have an American elected representative, Congressman, Representative Don Bacon. Despite being named Bacon, he is extremely kosher. He says, responding to a Christian influencer on Twitter who asked hypothetical question, one country must no longer exist, the United States or Israel, choose. And a sitting congressman says, read Revelations and report back, obviously implying that Jerusalem must be saved because it is the Holy Land. Unless he's saying that Jerusalem needs to be destroyed, which I highly doubt. But just amazing that our politicians, we should have no politicians that believe in apocalyptic prophecies and foreign lands being occupied by the God's chosen people in a magical holy land that's a foreign country. Read Revelations and report back. And I've been saying this for years about how so many of these Christians do believe that America has to be destroyed by the Antichrist and that Jerusalem is more important than America, like Charlie Kirk says and others have said. Mike Flynn says, God didn't choose America, he chose Israel. Or Charlie Kirk said famously in front of the Theodore Herzl image, the Zionist founder, he said that America is just a placeholder of ideas and that Jerusalem and Israel is the Holy Land and the eternal God's promised land. So quite amazing. Christians are a national security threat, and yes, they will sacrifice America to save Israel because they believe their favorite verse, curse them and you'll be cursed, and bless them and you'll be blessed. And Christians are primed to be sacrificial martyrs. And to make up for the history of Christian persecution, repent and be righteous Gentiles and save the Jews from the persecution. Gulag Kulak says, happy holidays to you and your family. Happy holidays to you as well. It's not quite the holidays yet, though. I got a big week this week. Tomorrow I'm going to be exposing the Christian pagan Christmas parallels with Gnostic Informant, huge YouTuber. And I'm doing a big space Did Jesus Exist on Thursday on Twitter with a real cast of characters, a bunch of Christians. And I've got streams every other day of the week. So we got a big week. I've got the Volkish Spirit German anti-Christian thread to do as well. And I've been bookmarking and adding a whole lot of other stuff I've been seeing to go along with that as well, to try to settle that debate from these lying Christians, covering up how so many biblical German scholars knew Christianity and philosophers like Nietzsche knew Christianity was a subversive foreign Jewish threat. And they were trying to shift away from it. Let's get this fixed here. Huge show today. So Christians are a national security threat, obviously, and the vast majority of all Christians, especially in the powers of influence in Congress, with big media companies, with the big book publishers, they're all as kosher as can be. Their greatest allies, their greatest supporters, the greatest enablers. Matt Gaetz, who was nominated for Secretary of State, and all of the supposed anti-Zionists were all happy about him and celebrating him as one of Trump's good picks to make up for all the swamp picks that he had to make a deal with, right, for the coping fake anti-Zionist. He says, it's so sad what has happened to Ireland because Ireland moved the embassy, kicked out the Israeli embassy or something like that. Let it be a lesson. Unchecked immigration ruins nations. So Ireland's being anti-Semitic. They're being anti-Israel. They're having a line in the sand against what Israel's doing in Gaza and with their neighbors. And Matt Gaetz is kvetching about it. Ireland, Israel. Let's just see what is the exact news. Israel closes embassy in Ireland, blaming extreme anti-Israel policies. Based Celts. He's right, though, about immigration being a huge issue in Ireland. But he only can bring it up when it's in the defense of the Jews, not to save the Irish people. That's not the issue. It's just that they're now being anti-Israel. Then it's a problem. Yeah, good riddance. I posted a compilation of Matt Gaetz. Everybody's like, oh, he's not a Zionist. He didn't get any money from AIPAC. He's all over the TV constantly praising Israel and shilling for Netanyahu. So people were sure coping with him, but then he got kicked out, edged out. He left Congress and retired from Congress and bowed out of this position, probably because of his sex scandals or some type of weird blackmail they got on him. Now he's doing, what are they called, where you pay money to somebody and then you like read their message? What is that app called? Cameo. He's doing cameos and I think starting a show on One American News or something, of course. Well, it's the Zionist media outlet. Pope says a few days ago, citing the gospel, the Pope, the leader of the church with this small hat, Pope Francis says migrants must be welcome and integrated. Recently, he also made headlines. He said that don't call them invaders and you need to be accepting. For years, constantly been promoting open border, pro mass immigration policies and statements. And it's the Catholic Church in America and around the world that are promoting and bringing in migrants and getting them set up and settled in. But the Groypers say, oh, Christ is king. You got to be Christ is king. You got to be a Catholic. Don't criticize the Pope. All of these incel, deranged, terminally online, teenage, Latinx, mixed little Groypers that have been, by the way, all over the internet for years lying about me and calling me Jewish. Fuentes has as well. And I said, your own church disavows you. You're not even representative of what Christianity actually is today. The kosher pope that visits the wall and says anti-Semitism is a sin, and he wants to erase anti-Semitism from humanity. You can't be a Christian and an anti-Semite, he also said. He says inside every Christian is a Jew. And these Catholic career Trump shills are promoting Christianity like it's the only solution, when it's obviously the problem. Latinx, I didn't forget that. And yeah, they want to talk and lie and call me Jewish. Sephardic is Sephardic. Fuentes is a Sephardic last name. Parisia Time for 5 says, greeting from Australia, brother. Pumped for another show. Hey, I didn't know you were in Australia. Yeah. They're not real Christians. The Pope's a false Pope. He's not a real Christian. Or, we're going to take back the church. It's only been 70 years since Nostra Aetate in Vatican II. But they're going to turn it around, right? Sure. Yeah. Fuentes and E. Michael Jones are going to be the new popes. And instead of just pulling off the Band-Aid and saying Christianity's Jewish and fake, these guys want to keep everybody in the Abrahamic paradigm, believing the Jewish prophecies, wanting all of the world to bow down to the King of the Jews, the Davidic Messiah, the King of Judah, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Every knee will bow, and they hate the pagans, just like the rabbis always did and still do. And the whole goal of Judaism was eradicate paganism, and that's the Groyper's main concern. While they're getting disavowed by their own church, while they can't even win over the Christians, their own church, let alone the Protestants or the Eastern Orthodox. And then they're definitely turning away all normal non-believers and secular people. Regular white people, regular family, smart people, educated people. They see critics of Israel and Zionism and Jews online, and it's full of Christian kooks and flat earth kooks and all types of other grifters and nonsense, and they run away, and they want nothing to do with it, and they think these guys are insane. Oh, your grievance with the Jews is that they killed God and they're the children of the devil and they drink baby blood? Okay, you guys are crazy. That's just the reality. Most people see that and think, you're insane. They go, poor Jews. They have sympathy for the Jews because of you controlled opposition, idiot morons. Clowns. Here's your average Christian. Mandy with 50,000 followers, says, as Christians, we are all adopted into a Jewish family and are part of the Israelite story. We are warned never to boast against the branches. And that's Romans 11, right? The Jewish Messiah, Jesus, is the son of Abraham. He is the tribe of Judah, but it's not Judeo-Christian, though. Charlie Brown says, Adam believes the blue ball deception. You're blocked and you're dumb, and we have no quarter for the retarded flat earthers. And we're covering the flat earth idiots that you're still doubling down after all of the flat earth leaders all have pie on their face and they've all been proven to be complete stupid liars, and you're still doubling down. Of course, the cultists always double down, don't they? Drum and Bass World says, hello, Adam. Good morning and afternoon. Thank you for being here, as always, Drum and Bass World. He's the tribe of Judah, the house of David. He is our eternal high priest in the order of Melchizedek, like it says in Psalms 110, that he will rule in the land of thine enemies. The Melchizedek, which they based Jesus on, will rule in the land of thine enemies, and he will make the enemies of the Jews his footstool. And Jesus now rules over the enemies of the Jews. Edom, the Romans, the Gentiles. Flat Earth is Talmudic and Jewish, and a Jewish disinfo psyop. So you guys have no credibility, and I don't care what you have to say. You're not welcome here. Zero tolerance for the flat earth kooks from now on after this. And then she says, if you hate Jews, then you hate Jesus. Here's one of the top online Catholic apologists, Trent Horn. This is what a real Catholic looks like.
For certain races. But one of the most heartless things I've seen people, including Christians, express has been a hatred of interracial marriage. This post on X got over 3 million views and thousands of likes for showing an interracial family and simply saying miscegenation, race mixing.
Miscegenation. He doesn't even know the word. Miscegenation
is a sin. Or this meme saying the brightest people support abortion for certain races, which is just eugenics. Many of the people...
Oh, it's just eugenics and like Darwin and Nazis and evolution.
Saying miscegenation is sinful don't give a reason for why it's sinful, except their own reactive disgust towards interracial children. You can see this in people like John Mendeo II, a.k.a. Handsome Truth, who baits people with racist tirades. Here's an incident where he berates a white mom with a mixed-race child, who Mendeo calls a mud shark.
Oh my God, the mud shark! Shark, shark alert.
You made a mistake. You made a mistake. My shark! My shark!
I truly
That video got so many views. I saw it went so viral online. And he's apparently not a Christian anymore. People are realizing how Jewish and fake Christianity is more and more.
believe someone with this attitude would walk right out of heaven and into the racially segregated parts of hell, because
I know what's dumb too is that like the Old Testament for the Jews, it's completely opposed to interracial misogyny and interracial marriage and marrying outside the tribe. It's like the worst of sins for the Jews, but not for the Gentiles. We're all one in Christ. We're all goyim bowing down to the King of the Jews, as Noah hides. And the Christians still say, oh, this is the only way. Hey, stop attacking white people. Stop attacking Christianity. Stop attacking Christianity. You're attacking white people. Christianity's anti-white. Duh. That's not a good answer.
heaven with its different races and people who are of mixed race worshiping God all together, that would be hellish to that person. That's why we should pray for God to rescue those
All the goyim bowing down and worshiping the Jewish God together.
whose hearts have been captured by hate and racial idolatry. Pope Pius XI.
Racial idolatry. Oh, he's quoting from the Pope exactly, too. Whoever exalts race. In Germany, the Catholics were always criticizing the Germans because of some of their stances as well.
Said those who make an idol out of race are far from the true faith in God. Nazi Germany, for example, was not trying to promote Christianity, but a kind of paganism. And part of this heartless racism comes from a revival of neo-paganism. Consider this response to the ex-post saying race mixing is sinful. It says, miscegenation was always traditionally considered one of the most grievous sins against your family, caste, and ancestors prior to Christianity, which introduced its plebeian values everywhere. Christianity is hardly the sole arbiter.
Pagan W's. Come on, Christians. Christians just can't take L. They could take so many L's and they just keep doubling down. It's so pathetic at this point. The L's that they stack up, how are they ever going to win when they're a fringe minority online playing the useful idiot controlled opposition? They deny Jesus is Jewish. They deny Christianity came from Judaism. They say the problem with the Jews is that they're fake Jews. They say all types of the stupidest shit that nobody agrees with. And then they think that's the winning formula. That's the strategy. That's being pragmatic. These guys, yeah, the Adam was right jar.
Which introduced its
Zionist Cuck says, Myron put your name down in his live stream yesterday. He said he never heard of you, but well, now he has. You should ask Zerka when he gets onto his show so you and Myron could have a nice talk. Zerka told Myron about me in a DM. So that's a lie that he never heard of me. And it shows the level of the gatekeeping that's going on with these Christian Muslim controlled opposition alliance people. The real opposition to the Jews that worships the Jewish God. The gatekeeping and the blackballing is extreme. I'm telling you guys, it's extreme.
Plebeian values everywhere. Christianity is hardly the sole arbiter of what is or is not sinful. I only have 6 words to say to that. Cope harder, pagan. Jesus is Lord.
Oh, from the kosher Catholic, Cope harder, pagan. The rabbis are like, Jesus erased your indigenous cultures and mythologies and gods. Through Jesus, our false Messiah destroyed your pagan gods. Cope harder, pagans. Dude, look at that. Trent Horn, the shaming the Groypers and the Catholics, and then he doubles down with the
is hardly the sole arbiter of what is or is not
pagans.
sinful.
We're all gonna blend into a Kalergi mix and worship the Jewish God together. Cope harder, pagans.
I only have 6 words to say to that. Cope harder, pagan. Jesus is Lord.
Jesus is the King of the Jews. Cope harder, pagan. Bow down to the Jewish God, pagan. Mix with all the other races and worship the Jewish Messiah, pagan. Cope harder, Christ cuck. Kalergi is king, dude. Come on, Christians, it's over. Every show I do, it's just like, it's so over. It's never been more over. Redeem Zoomer, who's Jewish, another Christian leader, says this video is genuinely based. Top comment. That's so funny. Here's another average Christian, another popular Christian, Joel Richardson, who wrote the book When a Jew Rules the World. Not kidding. Condemning the neo-Nazism Neo-Nazism rising
We're
in the
speaking
church.
this way, whether it's called,
This dude, look at this dude.
whether it's calling.
Oh, I totally like own this guy on a verse, and he blocked me right away. Could not engage at all. Total coward. Total hardcore Zionist shill, by the way, also. I believe he wrote for WorldNet Daily. Is it WorldNet Daily? That's Joseph Farah? Yeah, the big Zionist one.
Whether it's calling Jews vermin, as Hitler did, or calling them parasites, as Joel Webben does, it's neo-Nazism, it's evil, and it's widely being embraced in the church today. And it's not just like I stand against that. That is something that I don't, people go, but he's a Christian, he's a brother. He is my enemy. Like, people who are speaking this way are my enemy. And as I said, with my dying breath, I will fight and stand against that.
See, and this is the vast majority of all Christians. Like, these internet Christians online, they're so fringe. It's got to be like 1 in 1,000, probably. Not even 1 in 1,000. Who was it made a good meme about this? Where's that meme? Should have had it at the front. Where's the meme? Come on. Got a lot of important stuff to cover here today. Where is the meme? There it is. So, anti-Semitic Christians, it's a little tiny sliver, the thin blue line, the front lines of the Abrahamic deception, trying to keep even the people that like are awake to Jewish things, worshiping the King of the Jews. And then the rest is all philo-Semitic Christians. And the line would be even smaller. You wouldn't be able to see it. It'd just be like a little, the width of a hair of Christians that would even consider questioning that Jesus is Jewish and that Christianity came from Judaism, or that believes they're the synagogue of Satan. Even just a little sliver, like 1 in 1,000, maybe even more. Patient One says, here's some coping cash, Adam. Thank you. Penitent One, coping cash. I'll take that. Messiah podcast. Who said Messiah podcast? Volker Spirit. Did I miss that? Corn Pop the Bad Dude says, when HT shows all the facts concerning white genocide and who is causing it in his videos, you have numerous idiots in the comments literally omit all the white genocide info and reply with, if he wasn't so racist, I'd be on his side. How much you want to bet those are majority Christ cucks? Everybody on the right is majority Christ cucks. There's like no big podcast anywhere that will even entertain the idea that Christianity and Jesus is fake and Jewish. Complete Abrahamic circle jerk gatekeepers. Oh, Messiah podcast, says Drum and Bass World. That was the Trent dude said it. So even less believe Jesus was not a Jew, or the Jews are evil for killing God, or any of these delusional things. The Jews are secret Khazarians. It's like 1 in 1,000 of all Christians. And you guys act like you're really just shields, you're enablers. You just go, oh, they're not real Christians. Imagine the little blue sliver saying that all of Christianity, all the churches around the world, all of the influential positions and mainstream establishment networks, like you're calling all of them not the real Christians. And it's a no true Scotsman that's completely just running cover for the whole conspiracy and the whole problem. And instead, you're doubling down and saying more of the solution is a problem. Sorry, more of the problem is the solution. Pebble in the Pond says, Merry Yuletide. Adam, thank you so much for that nice contribution there. Happy Yuletide to you as well. Okay, where were we?
Because it's evil, it's satanic, it's racist, and it's not just evil and racist, it's fundamentally unbiblical, it's antichrist. And we as believers and as disciples of Jesus, of Yeshua, we need to be clear on these issues. This is not an issue to be...
The vast majority of all Christians think you online Christians are heretics and antichrist and satanic. And you call them satanic as well. You go, they're the synagogue of Satan. They're not the real Christians. They've been taken over by Jews. All of these endless copes. But it's still the solution. All of these terrible, rotten fruits. But You want to ignore that a tree is judged by its fruits, and they're really bad and rotten. You want an incongruent place? Yeah. Not wanting to be conquered by Jews and wanting to be replaced by other races is anti-Semitic and antichrist, says Joel Richardson. I mean, he only wrote the book when a Jew rules the world. Oppose that, and you're an antichrist Amalek and need to be destroyed, right, Joel?
Kind of wishy-washy on.
Amen. Gosh, I love how strong you were on that.
Amen. I
Whether
love
it's
the way
calling-
you totally hated on all of those satanic antichrist. So another Catholic, what is he, seminary theology host, loves Jesus, Catholic religious priest. Father Schneider says, we are all one human race. In Jesus, we are all part of God's family. Racism is sinful. Please admit you are anti-Christian, he says to Nick Fuentes. 20,000 likes to Nick's 6,000 likes. So they get ratioed by just all of these huge Catholics online and in the world, disavowed by the official Catholic organization. They lie and say that he's Jewish when Schneider is a German name. Just go, you're Jewish. Anybody that disagrees with me is Jewish. When you guys worship the King of the Jews and are known as spiritual Jews, you're wannabe Jews, and all they can do is call everybody Jewish. It's just so embarrassing and pathetic. And then we have this. The Catholic-only movement disavowed by the official Catholic organization. So, teaming up with the American Jewish Committee, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, translate Hate the Catholic Edition. Stopping anti-Semitism starts with understanding it. And they say Pepe the Frog, symbol of alt-right movement. Pepe the Frog is a cartoon character originally created in 2005 by some guy, blah, blah, blah. It turned into a meme that became a symbol of the alt-right, namely the Groyper movement, a group of far-right activists, internet trolls, and white nationalists and brown mixed Latinxes. The Groyper movement, by name, named and disavowed by the Catholic organization. A group of far-right activists, internet trolls, white nationalists, its followers known as the Groyper Army, seek to bring white supremacist ideas and content to a mainstream audience. A key figure of the movement is Nicholas Fuentes, Holocaust denier, peddler of anti-Semitic content, best known for his roles in 2017 Unite the Right rally and the insurrection at United States Capitol on January 6th. While the cartoon on its face is not problematic, Pepe the Frog has been associated with far-right anti-Semitic figures. As a result, somebody has sued the organizations, blah, 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 officially disavowed by the Catholic organization. The Catholic News Agency, 400,000 followers, says, amid rising anti-Semitism incidents in the United States, the U.S. bishops are collaborating with the Jewish advocacy group based Catholics. Catholics are the only way. Catholicism's the only way. Come on, these people are such a joke, such frauds. In collaborating with the Jewish advocacy group to combat anti-Semitism by offering Catholic readers a manual of terms geared to help them recognize anti-Jewish hate. They're all coping like classical theists. Their house theologian says, in order to accept this document, you'd have to believe that the divine promise Christ, I should talk like him, entrusted in the church only becomes effective as Nostra Aetate. This is basically an SPLC document that they co-signed, that your church co-signed on, which makes it even more embarrassing and cucked. With occasional and selectively modified Catholic window dressing. Oh, they're not real Catholics. Pope Francis, a Christian cannot be an anti-Semite. Give me a break. He's never going to name you guys. The Pope's not going to officially name you and excommunicate and disavow. Pope Francis, a Christian cannot be an anti-Semite. He also says things like inside every Christian is a Jew, and he wants to eradicate anti-Semitism from Catholicism. Groypers, you're fake Catholics. Most of you don't even go to church. You act like little lying demons. You're little incel, closet gay, most of you, and that's why you need Jesus, is to pray the gay away. Your Pope says you're not real Christians, and everyone knows the Catholic authorities disavow and condemn all of you little dorks. The Pope could disavow and excommunicate Fuentes by name, and these guys would still cope and just say he's not a real Pope or he's just doing what the Jews say. Pathetic, delusional losers. I'm going to do an advanced search for the Pope real quick, too. Goes and visits the wall. I mean, the Pope kissing the feet of black migrants as well. And we put out all this out there, and you guys just... Pope says anti-Semitism is a sin against God. Pope condemns anti-Judaism, anti-Semitism, and a new wave of attacks against Jews. I mean, Fuentes, you're not real opposition to Jews when you agree that they were ever chosen by God. When you concede the ground that they were God's chosen people and the prophets of God to bring forth the Messiah to rule the world, you're granting them everything. How is this not obvious? Noahide Pope says every religion is a way to arrive at God. Pope in letter to Jews in Israel condemns anti-Semitism as a sin. What is see through it all? We needed the Jews to produce the Savior, Fuentes, right? The popes were condemning Hitler in Germany. Pope Francis, inside every Christian is a Jew. I mean, can we just admit now, anti-Semitic Christian tradcats, that it's over and this isn't the path forward and this is actually the problem, and help us expose the actual messianic conspiracy? All of this only attacking the Talmud but not the Torah is limited hangout, clearly. Clearly. You're not Amalek unless you oppose Yahweh, oppose the Torah, say it's fake and Jewish, say don't believe they have magical powers, whether it's to be chosen or God slayers. They don't have black magic. They don't have magical powers. They don't have predictive power of prophecy. They can't predict the future, but the Christians are helping them fulfill the plan. Oh, dude, it gets even worse. Look at this. The Pope says, we hold the Jewish people in special regard because their covenant with God has never been revoked, for the gifts and the call of God are irrevocable, Romans 11. Dialogue and friendship with the children of Israel are part of the life of Jesus' disciples. The friendship which has grown between us makes us bitterly and sincerely regret the terrible persecutions which they have endured and continue to endure, especially those that have involved Christians. God continues to work among the people of the old covenant to bring forth treasure of wisdom which flow from their encounter with his word. For this reason, the church also is enriched when she receives the values of Judaism. The leader of all your church. The church which of course was started by Jewish rabbis. Pope says the exclusion of migrants in society is scandalous, quote. And then he says the exclusion of migrants is criminal. Corn Pop for 5 says, isn't the only reason the Jews have to make it to the end time so that they can either be turned into Christians or get executed by the Christians if they don't? What a lovely relationship. Exactly, Corn Pop. I was just going to mention that. I was thinking about how even E. Michael Jones, who's also on an anti-racist universal, which Catholic means universal campaign, and disavowing Fuentes and the Groypers and all these heretical Christians, heretical Catholics. E. Michael Jones, in his book, says that the Jews have to endure till the end times. They have to exist because they play a role in end times prophecy. So Christianity ensured the survival of Judaism and Jews while eradicating paganism around the world, which is the whole goal to begin with. The main problem Christians have with rabbis and Jews is that they reject Jesus, the Messiah that was meant to conquer the Goyim to begin with. Okay. Enough of the Pope. Oh, here, a few more from the Pope, actually. Pope says, let's pledge to ban anti-Semitism from humanity. Yeah, Catholicism is the only way. Right, Fuentes? So Fuentes is admitted now he was always wrong. He made his whole career on shilling for Trump that he admits was an Israeli psyop from day one. Just a few months ago, he finally realized that Trump is a Zionist pawn. He blocked me when I told him that. He ran from debates when I wanted to debate him about Trump. And just like he was wrong about Trump being a Zionist and controlled op, he's wrong about Christianity and it's controlled op. Are you not getting it yet? Gripers. Anti-Semitism is neither human or Christian, says Pope Francis. The Pope, it's funny too, you'll see the Catholics and the Orthodox fighting with each other on Twitter about which one of their churches cucks and grovels to the rabbis more. Which one of their Jewish sects is more Jewish? That's what they're fighting over. And they're both Jewish. Eastern Orthodox, Catholic, and Protestants. The Orthodox will say, you think you're debating a Protestant. We don't believe it. We totally disagree with the Protestants. You believe almost all the exact same shit. Minor differences, and sorry, but we've read the Orthodox Study Bible. We've seen all the clips from the Orthodox leaders. You're as kosher as can be. You are arguably more kosher and more Jewish because you're closer to the true church, which was started by all Jews, and you guys all admit. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so over. It's never been more over, guys. We're getting tired of winning over here with the green pill. So the Pope is meeting with World Jewish Congress, Ronald Lauder, thanking him for his great friendship. Shmuley Boteach and rabbis go and visit the Pope as well, and the Pope apparently visited the wall and did a little prayer that he put in the wall in Jerusalem, the Western Wall, and prayed for forgiveness for the church for their persecution, which many popes have been doing. Ronald Lauder and the Pope, we remember what Amalek did to us. We remember what Esau and Edom did to us is really what this is about. And the Christians are like, well, the church has to fall and has to be persecuted, and there has to be big wars, and that's when we win. Once the Jews take over the world and the church gets taken over and they have their Antichrist and the mark of the beast and the birth pangs of the Moshiach and the wars, and then Jesus will float down and save us. Okay, trust the plan. Trust the Jewish plan. King of the Jews is going to come and save us from the Jews. What are you, a Jew? You don't believe that? What are you, a Jew? They're such a joke, dude. It's such a joke. And it's the worst cope that they have, too. They say, I don't think even a literal denouncement could wake these people up. They're so deep in their defensive cope bubble, they're just lost. Very sad. Nick says, the American Jewish Committee wrote this. Yeah, and then your Catholic leadership of America reposted it. That makes it worse. That makes it more embarrassing. Oh, it's not as bad just because the Jews told him to say it. So, yeah, and then they were okay with that. And they said, sure, we agree. This makes it worse, Nick. God, it must be so embarrassing. A bunch of their groypers are turning against him as pedophiles and doing rape jokes against underage kids. Bunch of their VIPs, all the VIPs from the last conference are basically out. You know, I should bring Big Tech on here. Let's see if he's ready. I asked him if he always stays up late and sleeps in, so I asked him like last minute if he wants to come on. But he used to stream on Cozy, and we're talking about the flat earthers as well. So I'm always calling into his show. It'd be good for him to join me for this one. Hey, are you ready to call in? Yeah. Call me on Skype. Okay, later. I forgot. I meant to get him on there earlier. Let's see here. Let's get... I don't think we're going to do two-man anyway, but we still got the Keith Woods up. Let me share that. Let me fix this. Uh-oh. I might have to change some settings because... okay, there you are. I'm not sure if things are set up properly right now, but there's Big Tech.
I just see your OBS signal.
Okay. Just give me a second.
And I see I'm named Keith Woods on the stream.
I fixed it.
Sweet.
Hold on. Just a second. Let's see. Is it this one? Skype active speaker? Yep. There we go.
Let's go. Mic check. Hey, what's up, chat? Hey, no more news audience.
So were you watching?
Yeah,
Okay,
just for the last few minutes.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think about the Groypers getting disavowed by the official Jewish organization, the official U.S. Bishops Catholic organization? Nick's cope is that, oh, well, the Jews wrote it. But it's like, yeah, and then your church reposted it, republished it. Like, isn't that even more of an embarrassing own?
Well, it kind of seems to line up with basically the same thing the flat earthers are going through right now. You can take them to Antarctica and show them the 24-hour sun, and they'll say, well, that doesn't mean it's a globe. And you can show them the Catholic leadership disavowing them and, bowing and kissing black people's feet and going and humping the wall in Israel and saying that they remember the Holocaust and working with the Zionist leadership. You can show them everything, but they'll just say, nah, it doesn't mean anything. It's still real, and we're still going to win.
And it's the only way.
It's the right way. It's the only way to go. And, but the Catholics have protected us all through history. Oh, you mean like 1,000 years ago? What are you talking about? The Inquisition or something?
Yeah.
Like, when's the last time they did anything good at all? I mean, the European history with the Catholic Church is a continual slide away from it. We have Martin Luther all the way through the Anglicans, all the way through. America was almost like an anti-Catholic movement. I mean, as a way of looking at it. So what are we doing? Like, no matter how many times you debunk the flat earth model to a flat earther, they don't care because they're just caught up in like a psychological delusion. They're emotionally dependent on it. Makes them feel special. They're the center of the world. They're in Yahweh's terrarium. It explains why everything's so funky on the earth. It's like demonic powers and satanic NASA.
Demons and witches.
Yeah, and the Catholics are doing the exact same thing. And it's just like a weird fairy tale that you can tell your kids. It's like Santa, naughty and nice list. You want to go to heaven, you want to be on the nice list. You got to, do the magic ritual, take the Eucharist, get splashed with the magic water, do the baptism, and then you're going to get something nice in your stocking when you die. And they don't want to let go of it. And they're unawakened people, just at the end of the day, just like the flat earthers. They just really have a low-level mentality. They're stuck in a weird fog of superstition. You're never going to be able to break them out of it. Like,
and the overlap between Christians and flat earthers is like almost complete. We'll cover that when we get to the flat earth segment, which is... It
really, really is. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. It's the same thing. So we're going to see the Groyper cult is... My prediction is they're going to do the same thing that the flat earth cult does. When you show them the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, they'll just double down. They'll just go harder. They'll just, the worst ones of them will take over. Some will fall away, but the most kooky and fervently retarded ones.
Yeah, the cult will just become more extreme because, like, the more normal ones with a little bit of discernment that aren't completely under the brainwashing spell will leave, and then only the most arcade D's will stay there. You know what that means, right? RKD. Don't even say it.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Arcade.
Look at this one from Pine Sap. Another one of these Catholic Groypers who I debated says he's denying the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops condemned Nick Fuentes, and he says they didn't. Yeah, they fucking did, you liar. They posted it they republished it. This document holds zero magisterial weight and is a guide put out by the AJC No, the Catholic bishops shared it. Stop lying.
Magisterium. Magisterium.
Yeah.
The Pope has the magic, the majestic, the royal, the kingly word from God, because the Holy Spirit resides with the Pope on his holy see. So if it doesn't come from the seat of the Pope, which is blessed by the Holy Spirit, the third person of the Trinity, then I don't think it matters. Like,
well,
okay,
also it's funny because the Pope
It's the same
disavows
as
anti-Semitism all the time and says is pro-migrant all the time. That's the magisterial weight. The Pope has the final word, but then they go, oh well, I disagree with that. But then it doesn't have authority. But then now this doesn't have authority. You see what it's like? The way the Israelis go, like if they get a ruling from the UN, they go, the UN said it, so it's real, it's official. But if UN rules against them, they say they have no jurisdiction. We don't care what they say. He's trying to have his cake and eat it too here.
You know, it's exactly the same again with the flat earthers. You can show them an actual photograph or video of the globe. Again, I have them. They have videos and photographs from space, and they just go, oh well, that's just a video. That could be anything. That could
be faked.
That's so there's it's exactly. It's just they have an answer for it, right? Well, just because the leadership of the Catholic bishops put this up, that could be meaningless. It's the same kind of thing. But then you could take them to Antarctica. You could take them out next to the sea. You can show them a ship going over the horizon, and they'll go, oh, that's just an anomaly of refraction, or that's just sort of like an illusion based on the vanishing point of the distance and the angular resolution. They have just endless bullshit to it.
You're chomping at the
right
bit.
in front of their face.
Save the flat Earth stuff for the flat Earth section. You're chomping at the bit to get there.
Well,
I know.
I think it's the same thing. I think it's a good parallel, but I think the Catholics need to see themselves doing this. That's why I'm saying it. So yeah, I'll save the rest of it for that, but. You know what I mean? It really is the same phenomenon going on with these people.
It is. You can show them over and over again, and they just have a cope for absolutely everything. I'll save my flat Earth comments for later, but check this out. Now, Adam King is taking a victory lap. Total Jewish W over the Groypers now. Remember, Adam King had the infamous question in his debate with Fuentes and Gavin McInnes and Vince James. They goes, which would you destroy if you had to destroy one, Islam or the Catholic Church? And Adam said, easy, the Catholic Church. And they were like, oh, and Gavin rage quit. So after that, Adam King tweeted out, Dear His Holiness to the Pope Francis, which this has 600,000 views, but only 82 likes. He sent a message to the Pope. And he says, last night he debated Gavin McInnes, Fuentes, Vince James, and Zerka, and Elijah Schaefer. It was a blah, blah, blah. He calls for them to disavow them. He says, please have someone.
So Adam King is taking credit for this?
Yeah. The Catholics caved to Adam King. He says, please have someone from your lofty office wait in on these matters. I seek your counsel and make me into a believer. And now, oh shoot, where is it?
I seek your counsel. Make me into a believer.
Hold on.
The chutzpah on this guy.
Oh, there it is. Now here it is. Back in January, after that totally disingenuous debate hosted by Elijah Schaefer, he wrote to the Pope asking him to wade in on these matters of Catholic anti-Semitism and to make him a believer of Nostra Aetate by proving through action that he is committed to addressing Catholic anti-Semitism. He says, he's a believer, having the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops formally disavow Fuentes and the Groypers by name in the publication attached below. The Pope has listened. May he be blessed by Hashem, and I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. I will curse. Moshiach is upon us. Disavowed. Gavin McInnes, Elijah Schaefer, Vince James, Zerka, Stu Peters. And then he thanks all these Catholics. Dude, it's so over, Groypers. You got BTFO'd. I've never seen you mog so hard.
You'll never get the Jewish leadership disavowing Adam King, Groypers.
Yeah.
You'll never have that kind of pull.
Covering that, I was like, dude, the Pope sides with Adam King here. The Pope would disavow all of these Christians as heretics and satanic.
In a heartbeat. If you actually got the Pope in the room.
All these other Catholics all over the internet are doing it already too. So it's not like this is out of left field or something.
If the Pope watched a debate between Nick and Adam King, we all know that the Pope would side with Adam King.
Right.
Right in front of everybody. For sure.
But then they'll still say Catholicism is the only way.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, like, when's the last time the Catholic Church did something good? I'm just still waiting for them to tell me. Like, the same way I'm waiting on the flat earthers to give me a single shred of actual proof that the Earth's flat, I'll just wait forever for them to tell me when's the last time the Catholic Church did something good.
Mm-hmm. The line's even smaller, I was saying. A tiny little thin blue line of like terminally online anti-Semitic Christians with all of their bullshit like Jesus isn't Jewish and Christ is king and stuff, and all of the rest of Christianity and all the seminaries and all of the denominations, all the churches around the world would completely don't agree and are so kosher. And then they're still just going to say that's the only way still. They're so running cover for it. It's pathetic.
Yeah, the Catholics aren't even the majority of Christians in America. The whites are not even the majority of Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
And then the anti-Semites are not even the majority of the white Catholics. So you're a subsect of a niche of a subsect of a niche.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
And
just their whole platform is based around easily disprovable lies that nobody can get on board with. So it's like it's dead on arrival. It's a non-starter, and we're destined to lose taking that approach. So thanks a lot, fucking idiots.
Yeah, way to go, guys.
All right.
Thanks. Yeah, you mentioned that I used to stream on Cozy with Nick, and you
were infiltrating
that. Yeah, essentially. Well, I was trying to be a good influence. You can call it infiltrating, but I mean, I thought that these guys were using Catholicism as a meme, because that's what they're all about. It's a meme war, their culture war. They have all these slogans and images, and they got the Groiper thing and stuff. And I thought they were doing it as a meme, but then I got to know them, and I found out they're truly delusional, and also rotten, weird little fucks. So that it's not a meme. It's not some like high level strategy. It's not just a gang affiliation with sort of a kosher symbol attached to it or something. No, they're just like, they're nuts and they're like wicked. It's weird.
Yep. Yeah, they're little demonic liars and just deranged fucking losers. All right. Look at this.
At the end of the day, I mean, I think, we've talked about it before. I think it attracts people. Maybe similarly, again, maybe we're going to switch to flat earth here, but
we are.
The crossover there, again, the psychology of the Catholic, especially the Catholic convert or the extremely online Catholic, the Catholic theologian. You get to know one of them. They're deranged. They're weird people, just like the flat earthers. They have something. They got a screw.
Well, like they've been calling in. We've been doing these spaces. We did 2 spaces in the last week. Yeah. And when the Groiper Christian calls in, they're mentally ill. The one dude said he literally ended up in the mental institute and was gouging his eyes out. The other dude said he's going to go smiling to the get his head cut off.
Gallows. Yeah, right.
To the gallows. They're broken, like deranged people many times.
Yeah. It's a weird type of me-centric view of the world where, like, I'm God's special guy now, and God cares about what I do every moment of the day, and the angels are watching me, and when I pray, they hear me, and I have a great destiny, and I'm going to heaven, and God has approved me, and I'm set apart from everyone, and I know the truth, and everybody else doesn't. And it's a certain type of psychology that ends up in that mind frame and like latches onto that. And I've been finding that each time I encounter one of them, they seem like they belong in, they need a type of rehab. They need like either to be in a straitjacket or they need to go to
education camps. All the flat earthers and retarded Christians should go to education camps.
They need a mentor. They need to get a good man in their lives that they can learn from. Like there's something wrong with it. They fell off the wagon along the way and they ended up in Kooky Town. And it's not just, I mean, the theology on its face is obviously like Jewish and mythology and it's just fake. I mean, like, give me a fucking break. Like, come on, you can't tell. But even if it was real, like, or no, just the fact that it attracts you. It's not only that it's fake. It's just that it's kind of like for bad people to believe in. Like, hey, check this out. You don't have to be good. You can just get forgiven. And then you don't even have to strive to become something. God will do it all for you.
You could just be a piece of shit and then act like you're the good guy and you get to bludgeon everybody else with Christ as king and you're going to hell because you believe in magical Jewish blood sacrifices. And so you could be a piece of shit and a degenerate and hate yourself, and then you need Jesus to be forgiven. It's such an obvious crux. They're Jesus junkies. Like Russell Brand says, like, all the bad shit he used to do, now he's just totally addicted to Jesus. And he tweeted, do you think Jesus is coming back soon? 35,000 likes for these psychopaths that are waiting for the king of the Jews to float down from the sky on a horse with a bloody robe and a sword to wage havoc on the earth and to make everybody bow down. It's fucking insane.
Opiate for the masses. It really is that. It's like a drug dealing pyramid scheme.
4.6 thousand likes for the rapture tweet from this guy.
Bro. Yeah, we're so lost. I mean, all those people, you got to, like, if you got in the car with one of those people and they started it up, what would come on is like some Christian radio station with this really hypnotic sort of level key of G type of music with a certain syncopation with and then he changed my life and I love him so much and I will always give my life for Jesus. And they just do that all day. They're hypnotizing themselves and it's fucking weird, man. It's spooky. I just made that up, by the way. New Christian radio hit. Cross Talk FM. Hit me up. I'll record that. You're welcome. We need a flat earth radio station, by the way. We could be huge, dude. If the Christians can pull it off, the Christian Grift, nonstop asking for donations and asking people to sign up for new types of ministry stuff. If we started a flat earth radio station, people gobble that shit up. Like, everybody's so stupid now. We full blown live in idiocracy world where if you just tell people the dumbest thing ever, they love believing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stupid people, sheep, zombies like to be lied to, I think. It's a sick relationship they have.
Oh, they're telling me in the chat they like my Big Bear prop. Yeah, I put Owen's head on the wall because he's ours.
That's sick.
Yeah. I'm a bear hunter now officially.
Bear hunter.
Screw that guy, dude. He sucks so bad. We gave him the olive branch. I know that you went at lengths offering him like, hey, maybe now you can bail on this thing. Like, you obviously got swindled by that Jewish fella, Dave Weiss and his gay crew. And, okay, you were drunk on White Claws and they hit you up with a bunch of, they bamboozled you with a bunch of flat earth nonsense and you fell into it a few years ago. Okay, but now is the perfect time to come out of it. You know, they went to Antarctica together. They documented the 24-hour sun. You know it's not flat. Like, come on back. Be a hero. Lead people out. Be the Pied Piper. Okay, you went in, you bought in, you became a hero of flat earth. Now you can lead people out of it. You can actually save people from that delusion. Does Owen want to do that? No. He's just going to find a weirder way to double down on it. Mm-hmm. So fuck that guy.
I know. Doubling down now instead of just like the jig is up, dude. Just fucking admit it. And don't say, oh, well, this doesn't prove anything. It could still, we know it's not a globe. No, you guys are wrong about everything. You're a bunch of liars and grifters, and you need to cut the shit. Here, let's play this, all right? Because people don't know what we're talking about. Why? Because, and this is probably going to. Right. What?
They don't know? Let's
No, I haven't really explained the Antarctica thing yet.
Okay, cool.
So, some Christian pastor made a YouTube channel and an offer to take a bunch of flat earthers and debunkers to Antarctica to go see the 24-hour sun. And it's weird that they call it 24-hour sun because isn't it like a sun's up there and doesn't set for weeks, right? It's not just 24 hours. It never sets.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bring the flat Earth down there to prove that their model of the pizza Earth, the flat Earth disc, is fake and it can't work because you see the 24-hour sun. And for years, all of the top flat Earth grifters have been saying, you're not allowed to go to Antarctica. They won't let you. And there is no 24-hour sun there. And they said all the videos showing the 24-hour sun, those are all fake. Now we know they're not. Just like all the other videos they say are fake aren't fake. They were wrong about this video. They're wrong about that video. We all knew. So here's just a little compilation of all of these flat earthers talking about, and they're all backpedaling now saying, oh, this doesn't mean anything, and this could be faked. And these people deserve no sympathy. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Some people are just retarded and get duped by liars. Maybe they do deserve sympathy, but a lot of these people, zero tolerance for these idiots going forward. And if you're sweeping for these con artists, you're a piece of shit. If you're helping these con artists make money grifting off vulnerable idiots online, you're a piece of shit. All right, here we go.
If you want to know for sure if the Earth is spherical or not, go to Antarctica during the summer and see if you can watch the sun for 24 hours.
This would be easy to prove, but they hide this from us too. All we'd have to prove is go to Antarctica. Let me and you go to Antarctica, spend a week there in the summer, and let's see if the sun does a 360-degree circle all the way around us. If so, it's a ball.
So that was a Christian who, when offered to go, declined. He said he would go. He was offered, and then he said it was a stupid idea and it doesn't prove anything. When he was on video saying, we could prove it and settle it by doing this, and then once he's offered, he says, that wouldn't prove anything. He's not going.
Yeah, what do you know?
Yeah, imagine that.
Way around us. If so, it's a ball.
On the pizza land, once again, there absolutely can't be 24 hours of daylight while the sun does huge donuts around the perimeter of the pizza. There is no way light could reach the other end of the pizza while regions towards the center experience 24-hour night.
There is never 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica at any.
Eric Dubé also declined to go for stupid reasons, like Dave Weiss, that it's demons and it's a setup and it's a psyop and it's a lie, and you're just a fucking coward that can't put your money where your mouth is, and you want to sit back and do nothing while you grift online. Sorry.
You think everybody in your chat already knows why there's a 24-hour sun down there? Did you explain it to them?
No.
Does it matter?
You can. I know why. It's the tilt and the wobble of the Earth, but you can. It might have it in this video.
Yeah, it's a
video of it.
The wobble is something. So, by the way, the flat earthers like to bring up the wobble. The
wobble is why it's either summer or winter, because of the wobble.
No. The wobble is why the constellations move. We have the precession of the equinoxes. So the stars move their position slightly through the 12 constellations, but it takes like almost 25,000 years for one revolution of the wobble. So it's like the most slight thing you could possibly even imagine. 25,000 years for one wobble. So anyway, it's just that the Earth's axis is tilted a little bit. So the North Pole in our wintertime in the North Hemisphere is pointed a little bit away from the sun. And so it's winter now, December. That means the South Pole is a little bit toward the sun. So it's like the Earth is spinning, but the spin is based on an axis that's a little bit leaned away from the sun. And then in our summertime, when June and July or whatever, in August, the sun will be on the Earth will be on the other side of the sun, but that tilt is the same. So now it's tilted a little bit toward the sun. So when it goes back around to the other side, it's tilted away. So that's what the seasons are. You understand that it's very simple. It's just like right now it's wintertime. That means we're just a little bit tilted away at the North Hemisphere. But that means that the South Hemisphere is tilted toward the sun. And so since it's tilted a little toward the sun, that means at the very bottom, you're able to see the sun the whole time because there's no nighttime down there. So the very bottom of the Earth at the South Pole is basically always in the daytime because it's tilted into that half where it's always light. So there's the example down there. You can see the sun all day. Yeah, there it is. So you can see in that graphic that the South Pole is in the day half of the planet, and it just stays in the day half for like half of the year almost. which means that if you're down there, you're just going to see the sun all the time.
Yeah, and the North has 24 hours. The sun never rises at the same time.
Right. Exactly. So the North Pole will be in the night for for a number of weeks and months or whatever. The point is that the reason why that can't happen on a flat Earth as they propose it, which, by the way, there's only one real proposition. There's not like a multiple bunch of flat Earth concepts. There's one that they've all been saying. Mm-hmm. They've all been agreeing on it. They've all been reifying and reinforcing and proving it.
This one.
Quote unquote. Yes. And you can see with that one, only one small section of the ice is going to be lit up at a time. There's never a time when you can be on one part of Antarctica in this model right there and just see the sun for days and days and days, because it's always going away from you. That's why the sun goes down in their stupid view. The reason why they think night happens, Adam, is because the sun went too far away.
Dude, and Owen's these idiots like Owen is saying, well, this doesn't prove that their excuse is what the sun doesn't have anything to do with what we're standing on. We can see the moon, the phases of the moon, how it's lit up when it's right in this 90 degrees from us in the sun. It's lit up halfway, just like we're always lit up halfway, and that's what day and night is. Owen's going to say there's no evidence that we're on a globe when every single piece of evidence shows that we're on a globe. He says you can't make any predictions with the globe model. They make all types of accurate predictions with eclipses. You can also see the curve on the moon when there's an eclipse as well. With the tides, all types of stuff. These people are either totally retarded or they're lying. It's not, what is the saying? He goes, I may be wrong, but I'm not lying. No, you're definitely wrong, and you also might be lying, is what it actually is.
Yeah, it's actually both. It's like you're wrong and lying. Because what Owen means, and I've done a thorough psychological profiling on this guy, so I understand him, and I could speak from authority on this because I get it with Owen. I've looked into this quite deeply. We've covered it for hours on my stream, dissecting everything from his history to his linguistics. We know Owen,
which he just openly talks about all the time. By the way, this is not like secret doxing stuff. This is him on all of his streams, very open about so much of this stuff.
He puts it all on Front Street. He lets us all see it, but the bears are just too dense to really pick up on it or something.
Or they resonate with it because
they're just like him, or he's exactly. There's something where they mesh together. Mm-hmm. But Owen's strategy is this: number one, gain a surface level, border on ignorance understanding of a subject. Part one, gain a very shallow understanding of something.
For instance, he's been promoting flat earthers and flat earth for years and claims he's just a truther searching for the truth. And it's not a religion, but up until recently, he never watched the top flat earther on YouTube, Professor Dave, who's debated all of these guys that he promotes, like Witsit and Flat Earth Dave, an obvious con artist. If you can't tell Flat Earth Dave is a con artist within the first few seconds, there's something wrong with you, by the way. And so he's never watched any of the videos from the top debunkers, never watched any of the debates that the top debunkers had with all of his buddies that he promotes. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Never invited any of the debunkers on the show to hear the other side, to hear if his questions could be answered. Completely one-sided. Okay.
Well, it's the same as with the Christians. It's like what he's doing with Flat Earth is the same as what most Christians do with Christianity, whereas they just learn it from pastors and priests. And they don't ever look into the other side. They take no time to go see, is this reliable? Is there another answer for why the Bible's like this? Mm-hmm. Are there people that disbelieve this? Let me go find out why that is. They just take it on faith. They go, oh, this person told me it's true. I'm just going to learn how to do what they're doing. I'm going to learn how to defend it the way the person instructed me to.
He's live with Witsit right now from Antarctica.
No kidding.
Should we watch it?
There you go.
Yeah,
You
I
made
should
him
be
feel
covering that
good,
on
and
my
the minute
stream.
you don't,
I'll go
they
back and
like
get the replay.
say you're a liar and you hate God or something. Like that's happened to me
It'll
like
be-
1,000
I wonder what-
times. I'm
I'd like
what
to
the
hear their
fuck,
cope,
man. Like, do you think I'm lying? What do you think happens if you just go where there's, you say it feels like there's no life and you're not supposed to be there. Like, what happens if you just fucking beeline? You have any?
So this is Witsit, who's had me on his show, who is a lying idiot, and he just has pie on his face, admitting that he's been totally wrong for years, saying there's no 24-hour sun, that you can't go to Antarctica, proven wrong on both accounts. And now he's doing a live interview from Antarctica with Owen, and he's helping all of the flat earthers sweep for this apparently right now. So he said he wanted to keep his quote unquote street cred with me by holding these guys accountable, but I'm not seeing it at all, and you don't have any street cred with me.
She was telling me that there are some people that want to go across Antarctica. And so I was hearing her out. I was asking her a bunch of questions. She said, like, they got these decked out Toyota Highlanders and they headed south. But per usual, what happens is they go towards the quote unquote South Pole, then they start popping up north. And so if you were to really just keep going south, I have no idea. I would love to know. We made a joke that we should hijack the plane that we were on.
Dude.
But we would totally die. We would totally die. Like it's,
Yeah, your instincts are pretty.
The idea that like they're not acting like this proves they're complete idiots and can be so wrong about something so obvious, and that they're still doubling down like, oh well, I'm still right about everything else. Like, no, you're fucking not. And you fell for QAnon. You're a Christian retard, Christian identity worshiping Yah retard. Like, dude, you're just dumb, or you're a grifting liar preying on dumb people. Should I go to the beginning of this, you think? Because we probably missed.
Yeah, if you want to.
You're gonna. I know you want to go through the whole
go
thing
back
on
and
your
do it
show.
on my stream anyway. Yeah, I'll review the whole thing, but yeah, I want to see it.
Okay.
I'd like to hear. I bet right at the beginning we'll get some.
Be this. Here he is. Witsit. Gets it. How are you, brother?
Witsit doesn't get it.
what's up, brother?
Dude, tell me all about Antarctica. I've been dreaming about it for like 7 years.
You've been seething about
Dude,
it.
it's incredible, bro. It is legitimately incredible. When we flew,
They're all talking about how amazing the fly-in was. Like, it's like the most amazing, breathtaking thing they've ever seen. I'm so jealous. It's such a cool thing to be able to do that.
over Antarctica was the best part, actually. It was super cold and you can't do much. But when you fly over it, dude, it's insane, bro. Like, there's no questions. Got any questions about a crater? Fly over Antarctica, bro. It's that pretty. It's incredible.
Like, tell me what it looks like. Like, is there a big wall? Is there mountains? Like, tell me.
Yeah, so we actually flew over the peninsula entrance. So obviously it's a little higher than the water, but it's not the big ice shelves. It's one of the main entrances they always fly over. So that was the most disappointing part, probably, because they flew us over that little peninsula entrance. And then you fly and it's just tons of water and ice, dude. Any human that tried to trek that is such a legend, like insane. But yeah, there are tons of mountains everywhere we're at. I try to show you.
They're like, oh, Admiral Byrd's, his expedition, they wouldn't let him go all the way. It's like, it's fucking impossible to probably try to get there on a boat. Right?
Yeah, they got
and now he
stuck down there
realizes
a bunch. And they didn't have huge icebreakers, man. They were just like sailing down there in primitive vessels and just had balls of steel. That's all.
So, like, everywhere you look, right, just snowy mountains everywhere. And then we were in this little plane right here earlier, and they flew us through the mountains. And it's crazy, bro. It's super cool. So it's just it's just as far out as you can see. It looks super flat. Everything's ice, and then it just rises up, and then you just have nothing but mountains everywhere that we've looked. So it's crazy.
So how are you feeling about people's reactions? Because you could see a sun for 24 hours, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, no questions asked, yeah. People are acting really gay.
Yeah, they're being gays.
They're calling him controlled opposition and an agent and saying it's a fake sun and there's green screens and all the kooks are having all types of shit. That's why he says they're being gay. Oh, you realize your community's a bunch of idiot liars, huh? Funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Big surprise. Yeah, your kooky community's acting kooky and it's disappointing to you. Well, I wonder if they're starting to see themselves the way we've seen them the whole time. Look how these people are acting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
And you're acting like that. Oh, and by the way, we're going to play the clip of him. We won't watch all of this. I'll let you watch it on your show with your audience. I'll watch it there too. But because we've already got clips that's happened, the highlights to go through. Like him saying that the people that are taking a victory lap and making fun of him are toxic. No, the people that have been running around with lies, calling all of us brainwashed, traumatized, globers, you're the toxic ones. You're the idiots making everybody retarded. You're the one grifting money from dumb old ladies that are turning schizophrenic, thinking that Satanists control the world and are covering up that we're on a flat earth.
Yeah, if you guys want to go follow me on Kick, it's kick.com/bigtech. Adam referenced my channel over there. So this is a lot of the stuff that I do on my stream. I do real long streams. We're staying there for 6-8 hours. I do a full shift, and we'll be breaking down videos like this. We'll go line by line. We'll catch them in their lies. We'll mock them while they cope. Things like this. We had some of the Groypers the other day. Beards and Beardly got into a big debate with Bryson Gray, the Black MAGA rapper, and they argued about the Bible. And Beardson, who is Nick's top Groyper general, he didn't know what he was talking about. He got absolutely destroyed by a Protestant who knew the Bible, and things like this go on. So if you enjoy that kind of content, you'll find it over on my channel, kick.com/bigtech.
My favorite A-log.
Yeah, we're A-log.
Top general. Okay. An idiot exposer.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just watch one more minute of this. Like the first 2 minutes. I want to see what Owen starts with. Like, you better have a tough question up front. Like, hey, so are you going to apologize for lying to everybody for years?
He's not going to have that. Come on. You're asking too much.
That's so good. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying that we faked it and all this goofy stuff. And I'm like, well, I feel like that's kind of you admitting that in your mind, you jumped over to this other model and internalized it. And since this doesn't match with what you thought, you're freaking out. So I must be now a Mason or something or whatever. You loved me last week, but now I'm fake, So I think that part's super lame. Obviously, I know some really cool flat earthers that were excited I was going and had my back the whole time. So it's kind of split. But people were freaking out. And
look at what Owen tweeted. Somebody told me to look at this. He says, pagan LARPers are just dudes. He just tweeted this. He's seething so hard. You're such a fucking faggot, Owen. You're such a little bitch. And you're not funny either. Pagan LARPers are just dudes who fantasize about breaking stuff and painting their faces with other dudes around a fire and blowing each other. Everything is always gay with you because you're a closet gay, Owen.
Oh, my God.
All paganism worldwide. Dude, Owen, we don't believe in the pagan gods. We don't think that we're Vikings living in the jungle. We have respect for our ancestors and their legends to spite the Jews, okay? It's not much more deeper than that. So stop your fucking stupid coping. All paganism worldwide practices a form of animal sacrifice and doing raids to steal from other tribes. Okay, based and animal sacrifices. What do you think Christianity came from? You Jesus grifter?
Yeah, no shit.
Human sacrifice, animal sacrifice, Yom Kippur, the God that loves the smell of burnt offerings. Like, come on. That's why all the pagan magic, the gathering crowd on Twitter, always focus how dumb Christianity is. It's so funny. Tag me if you're going to talk so tough, pussy. Focus on how dumb Christianity is because when asked what they are into, we're not into any of that shit. Does he not get this? That, I'm non-religious?
Well, Adam, I didn't even get to go into the rest of the recipe. So it's first get a shallow understanding of something that's totally one-sided. Then you learn how to straw man the other side. The other side. Then the whole rest of the tactic is misrepresent what the other side is saying and doing as badly as you can, and then argue against that. That's all they do.
Dude, Owen, everybody thinks that you did room wax and are a closet gay or bisexual, and all you can do is talk about dicks, saying pagans eat guys' dicks. Being anti-pagan is Jewish. You realize that, Owen, right? It's anti-white and it's Jewish. What, you want us to believe in your Yahweh's terrarium and the biblical flat earth and worship Jesus, the King of the Jews? That would make you happy? He's such a little seething bitch, dude. What a fucking crash out.
He said yesterday in his cope about Antarctica, he said, if you're teaching your kids that you are a genetic accident that's floating on a stupid little ball in the middle of
that evolved from monkeys,
then that's child abuse.
Yeah.
But Owen apparently is teaching his kids that the world is run by Satan. NASA is a fake agency run by Satan. God put Satan here to test us. We live under a dome. God's on the other side of the dome watching us be basically like mind raped by Satan nonstop. All the rockets are fake. They go into the Bermuda Triangle. It's a giant psyop to trick us. Rockets are maybe even made out of helium balloons, and the rocket engines are giant weather modification machines. What else? Like endless bullshit like that. So you're telling your kids that that's the nature of the world that they live in.
That's
this,
child abuse.
This superstition about demons floating around in the minds of people, and everything around you is a giant lie. And you're supposed to just like get along. And most people, by the way, almost everybody, 99.5 out of 100 people in the world, by the way, son, daughter, they're all believing the lie. They're all lost. They're like zombies. So you basically live in the Walking Dead version of reality under a dome. That's what he's telling his kids. So, but we're the ones with the child abuse narrative.
Let's watch a little more here.
I guess I watched your video and you said it really well, which is that this doesn't all of a sudden make the spinning globe real.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, it's just that this conception that was popularized, I think maybe even handed to us. You got the AE map just handed to you. It isn't correct. Like what the picture you see on Dave's app,
The AE map. He's been shilling the AE map so hard for years.
Is that Flat Earth Dave's something?
No, AE stands for azimuthal equidistant. So it's the same map that Flat Earth Dave's using, but they've been calling it the Flat Earth map the whole time. They have had no problems with it. And now all of a sudden, like, what's up with this? It just got handed to us. That can't be right. They're not going to figure out a good cope. I saw somebody,
they're already promoting some other model now. Some dude
with
Dave is like, oh, and I think it's a good one. Funny like that. You get totally owned and proved wrong, and just like that, all of a sudden it's a new model. These people are backpedaling, goalpost shifting, fucking frauds.
It's not going to work. There's too many people that are going to find it kooky, and they're not going to believe it. It's not simple. But part of the thing about the flat Earth is that it was just simple lies. And you can fool a lot of simple people with simple lies. Once you get too elaborate and there's too many moving parts and the cope is too deep and you get a debunk like this, the simple people are going to go like, what? Like because their whole narrative relied on, oh, Antarctica is fake and you can't go there and they're hiding something. And part of what they're hiding is if you go there, there's no 24-hour sun. That proves that we're on a flat Earth like this with an ice wall that holds the water in. And simple people go, wait, what? There's a conspiracy to keep you from going and checking for yourself? And they go, yeah. I bet if we went there, we'd find out there is no 24-hour sun in winter. And then and all the people go like, I bet you're right. I bet they're lying to us. I bet they're keeping a secret from us. So the whole flat Earth theory is really a theory about there's a big secret. That's really what the theory is. There's no science behind the theory. It's just a conspiracy theory. Literally, it's that they are conspiring to keep a secret from us. But now the secret's out. So the flat earthers thinking that they can just come up with a new model for how the Earth's still flat. It's not going to work because nobody was actually convinced by the science of flat Earth. It's not that there is no flat Earth science. There's just flat Earth conspiracy theory. They're keeping a secret from us. What are they hiding about the nature of space? What are they hiding about the nature of the planet? What are they hiding from us? It's like that's the real nature of flat Earth belief, is about the secret. It's not about the science. But now that they've gone down there, well, that secret's gone. So what else do they really have? The next one's space. It's like, all right, so if you were wrong about Antarctica, what if you're wrong about space too? Becomes the obvious next question. You've been saying that there's no 24-hour sun, and you've also been saying that there's no space station. Because that's what they say, by the way. They say the International Space Station, all those are astronauts up there floating around in zero gravity, all the satellites floating around in orbit above the atmosphere. They say that's all fake. It's like, well, you said the 24-hour sun was fake. Why would we assume you're right about the space station too? So it's the first domino has fallen, and they're fucked now. There still will be like totally hardcore, dedicated quacks who will keep it alive for some time, but only the weirdest, like unlikable, unfuckable, horrible, broke, schizoid, meth head types.
Could you imagine all of the relationships and families that Owen has caused division in? Like, because
we've heard from a lot.
Karen Bear watches his fucking videos and thinks that the Earth's flat and spaceships are rockets are fake and pandas aren't real, and she goes to Thanksgiving dinner and decides to has one too many and decides to start talking about the stuff she learned from Big Bear, and then all of a sudden all her coworkers at the company party, all her family thinks she's a fucking schizophrenic retard. Your kids are gonna grow up and think you're a fucking piece of shit like you think your dad is. They're going to think you're a mentally ill, pathological liar, narcissist. And we tried to be nice and gave you plenty of opportunities, and you were a little bitch rat.
Yeah, he was a real bastard, and he's still being a real bastard. He told me he was going to come on my show months ago, publicly, on the timeline. Then he told me again in DMs that he was going to come on. And then he just bitched out and didn't show up and flaked out. But it's really, he's just a coward. And I have a very low respect for cowards. But he wouldn't come and talk to somebody who I've never seen in a conversation with. He's somebody who's not a flat earther. Somebody who doesn't just humor him and wash his balls, somebody will just talk to him. The fact that you even showed a little bit of dismissal, disregard, questioning, you represented the other side, you were skeptical of him. Remember how mad he got at you? It was amazing.
Oh, he seethed and attacked me for a week and spun and strawman and lied and misrepresented every little, projected his way. Every accusation was a confession. It was like one of the most disgraceful things I've ever seen. The guy is deeply flawed. I think he's very psychologically broken.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. He's a fucked up guy. So you mentioned how it's going to go with his kids and stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Homeschooling your kids into a flat Earth world with a dad who's as twisted as him, and he's not really trying to take an honest look at it or get it fixed. He's just like doubles down endlessly. So that's a bad recipe.
John Garadas,
interesting to unfold.
Yeah, John.
Go ahead.
Well, I hope he snaps out of it and that doesn't happen. John Garadas says Owen is just being a Jew. It's just his subversive gene. And you know what? Before I even knew he's been talking trash about me in all these videos, I was in the comments of his live chat saying, "Oh, Dave is a fraud. He's busted lying. He wouldn't go on the trip." And they blocked me from the chat, and all the bears started calling me a Jew. So you're all fucking loser, lying cultist. John says Owen is just being a Jew. It's just his subversive genes kicking in. He doesn't believe any of the bullshit he claims. He's grifting for the money and serving the Jews after speaking against them. Now Owen is purposely discrediting the opposition with flat Earth. That's the biggest issue with all of this. Why we even pay it any mind is how normal people go into X spaces. Normal people watch people that go on these shows that are talking about Zionists and Jewish power in Israel, and then it's the well is poisoned with this flat Earth, everything's a conspiracy, mental illness. The kosher conspiracies, also never saying Jesus is fake and Jewish, never exposing the actual Jewish conspiracy, just spreading all these distracting kosher nonsense, kooky shit. Scaring away all normal people that we should be trying to have on our side.
Yeah, it's concerning to think that a new person would arrive. Let's say they find their way over into some live stream. They see, one of these influencers on a big show, right? And they say
like both of these guys on Stu Peters.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then they start perusing the conversation on the timeline, or they find themselves to other Rumble streams, and they find people like Sneeko, Muslim flat earther, saying that the Jews run the world. They find John Zerka, superstitious Catholic cocaine crusader, flat earther, saying that the Jews run the world. They find Nick Fuentes, twink incel, possible homosexual, total degenerate, weird cult leader Catholic, saying that Jews run the world. They find Owen Benjamin, quarter Jew, closet homosexual, total insane, flat earther, weird psycho. It goes on and on. It's just like these people in the sphere coming in to talk about this issue. Let's say, guys, if we agreed that this was the most important issue, is that our nation's been subverted by like basically a cabal of criminal gangsters that are all in this like ethno-religious gang, and they've nepotistically moved their way up into positions of power over our money and our institutions, our schools, our media programs, you name it. And they're masters of propaganda and all the rest. And they're highly strategic. They're planning, and they've even got themselves into the minds of our people's, church leaders and things like that. Wouldn't it be important for us to approach this subject with some sobriety, to come to it with a rational type of thinking, with a reasonableness, with our feet on the ground in the real world and thinking strategically? If we come at it with kooky, superstitious, confused, fake space, flat earth, believing in angels and demons and arguing about which denomination of the ancient Jewish religious faith is the right one, and endless squabbling, and maybe tomorrow the next guy is going to put on a turban and start saying Allahu Akbar, and it's like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing, and you guys are going to take on that thing? Like, we got to get it together. So this is how I feel about the flat earthers and the Christians, the Catholics. It's like, you got to come at it with some sobriety. You have to look at the world as it actually is, think with a clear mind. You have to wipe away superstition and all sorts of magical thinking, all this goofy nonsense. It even makes its way. I dealt with a guy the other day. I won't name his name, but he was telling me that no planes hit the buildings on 9/11. And he showed me the documentary. I went piece by piece. You could tell it's obviously kooky bullshit, but people just want to believe the wildest stuff now. And the truth, if you want to call yourself a truther, it's not about who can memorize the most bizarre facts about the lies. It's not what truthing is. Being a truther means you understand the truth, not you understand the lies the best. Being they call themselves truthers, but they focus only on lies, and then they end up with lies about lies. Like Owen is telling a lie about a lie, right? So he's saying that they're lying to us about space, but that's a lie in itself. So he's lying about lying. So now we have like two levels of lying in the truth community. Mm-hmm. So it's just making everybody crazy. It's muddying the water. It's making it impossible for there to be rational conversation. And at the end of the day, like you said, there are smart people on the other side too, by the way. Just because somebody's a Democrat voter doesn't mean they're not an intelligent brain.
They don't want to be with the Christ kooks and the flat earth conspiracy idiots and the demon believers.
Largely. So a lot of it is uninitiated NPC type thinking. That's true, but that can be dealt with. But also a lot of it is just purely emotional resistance to being on the side of all the Christ is King people and all the they killed our savior people and the earth is flat people. And the evolution denier people, like the people who outright deny science, they deny nature and reality, they deny history, they make up lies about lies. When smart people find a room full of guys like that, they leave. And so you're basically insisting on having a movement that's full of dummies.
Yeah. Schizo retards.
And it's not going to work.
And Atomized Deception says, I'm glad you guys are calling out the bullshit. And Zionist Cuck says, Owen's been on record talking about his father being an actual faggot Jew. He's always talking about his dad being a narcissist and threatening to kill himself. And like every show he talks about this. He talked about it arguing about Flat Earth yesterday. And he doesn't get the connect that he's doing the same thing. Owen tells a story how his dad would force him to debate something that he knew was not true. And then now you're doing the same shit. Pilpul word games. He brags about he's the greatest wizard and his dad was a wizard and knows all this psychological tricks and stuff. And you do the same shit. How does everybody that watch him not realize that? How does he not realize it? Anyway, let's watch another minute of this and get to some of the chats.
Yeah.
Or some of the clips that we have from some of this.
It clearly isn't that simple. And I think it's actually naive of us to think that the creators heavens are that simple. But I didn't think there was a 24-hour sun here. I've said for years I didn't think there was one. There was no footage. And I was wrong. That's the other.
There was footage, lots of it, and you said it was all fake.
Right.
So you're still
just
lying.
Like he's saying, that's what he said. He said there was no footage, but there was. Just like he says there's no footage from space, but there is.
Right. No, you can't shoot a rocket up and have a camera and a radio transmission. That's all impossible. You believe that? You can't break through the firmament. You can't have a camera and a radio wave transmit the signal. Like, yeah, you can. But they say it's all fake because they're just, and they were wrong about this, but they're still right about that, of course, right? We gotta fly Witsit to space next so he can see the curve of the globe. And then he'll believe it, and then his whole audience will call him a shill and say that he's an agent and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what they'll do.
The part that's super gay is people think it's like such a big deal to be wrong. It's not that.
Bro,
big of a deal.
It's not a big deal to be wrong, right, guys? It's not a big deal to be a total fucking asshole idiot running around calling everybody brainwashed and stupid when you're the brainwashed stupid one. There's nothing wrong with that, right, guys? Come on, dude.
There's nothing wrong with, hey, if you get asked a question and then you offer an answer and it's wrong, and they go, no, actually it's this, and they show you and you go, oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something shameful about being obviously wrong and then arrogantly ignorant for years and then insisting everybody else is an idiot and calling them assholes, getting in their face, trying to clown them and shame them, speaking down to them condescendingly, forthrightly standing in your own ignorance.
Laughing at them.
Scoffing at all the others. And then only after we drag you halfway around the world to show you that you were wrong. And then you laugh it off like, oh, well, I was wrong. There's no big deal.
We're all wrong sometimes. We all promote a total bullshit theory for years, right, guys?
Well, we're all total idiots that call others idiots.
Yeah, listen, one more time.
A 24-hour sun here. I've said for years I didn't think there was one. There was like no footage. And I was wrong. That's the other part that's super gay is people think it's like such a big deal to be wrong. It's not that.
Bro,
big of
I
a
got
deal.
way more. I got so much respect for you, man, because that's always what got me into the truth world.
Oh, yeah, man.
So he only dragged his feet every step along the way and still is admitting he's a stupid idiot and wrong about the globe. Like, no respect. I've got even less respect. Maybe Jaron a little bit more. We'll see what Jaron does when he gets back. They've been saying all along, look, they're saying Adam Green is gay. They know we're sniping them. November, Adam Green is gay. Like, you're literally a homo and don't even have a wife and kids. And you worship Owen and probably want to blow him. So we didn't even finish this, though. Let's finish this real quick.
Towards the center experience 20 pizza. There is no way light could reach the other end of the pizza, while regions towards the center experience 24-hour night.
There is never 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica at any time of year.
Let's say we are trying to prove the globe or trying to prove it's flat.
This is Jaronism who went, by the way. He's there in Antarctica.
Should be very, very easy, right? I mean, on a globe, we would have a 24-hour sun in the southern summer. That means that the sun would circle the continent. That's quite different from the flat Earth model where the sun circles the entire Earth from above, and since Antarctica is around the outside, well, that doesn't include a circling sun, at least not around you at the bottom continent.
You mentioned the sun, right? Like the idea is, yeah, if you see the sun in the sky for 24 hours, that's what the globe predicts, and how would the flat Earth explain that? But that's not what happens.
One of the arguments.
So that's Witsit. You're wrong. You were totally wrong there. Like, you're wrong about everything else. And you're an asshole. Now here's Flat Earth Dave also, who declined to go because the guy inviting him for the all-paid trip is a literal demon. You know, because those are totally real. He couldn't put on his big boy pants and go down there and put his money in his reputation where his mouth was on a free trip because it's a demon. No, you're the little lying demon, Dave.
One of the arguments that people give is on a flat Earth, you can't have a 24-hour sun, a midnight sun in Antarctica, and I totally agree. But there is no midnight sun in Antarctica.
In the flat Earth model, we say there isn't a 24-hour sun in the south, and there isn't.
I want you to pay special attention to the fact that, for the most part, these buffoons are...
By the way, these buffoons, Jason Shurka is pretty sure he's Jewish and a big, Zionist shill also. So what's he doing on this panel with all of these guys? Oh, and Witsit Gets It. We might as well mention this, too. In order to go, he dragged his feet and he made all these ridiculous demands, hoping that they wouldn't be met, but then they were met. And then he he forced them to have a contract, and he hired a rabbi Jew yarmulke-wearing lawyer to write up his flat Earth contract for him.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Gross.
Jonathan Gross is the name, right?
Yep. Yeah, Whitsitt, who believes that that man would be a satanic
Nephilim. Satanic baby-eating demon.
Yeah, his concept of Jews is that they all come from like a satanic bloodline of fallen angels.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he has one of them as his flat Earth lawyer.
Yeah.
Of course. No
They're
problem.
all flat out stating that a 24-hour sun in Antarctica debunks the flat Earth. And aw shucks gee whiz, it's too bad that the global lizard person government won't let us go down there and check for ourselves. That's going to bite them all in the ass, as you'll see a bit later.
I'm Will Duffy, and I pastor a small church in Colorado. And driving is where I do most of my deep thinking. And I decided on that drive that I was going to come up with a way to settle this debate. This would be the final experiment in the flat Earth versus globe debate.
But there is no midnight sun in Antarctica.
That's it. Antarctica and the 24-hour sun.
All right, so that's the final experiment. They have gone.
If you want to know for sure.
And like we all knew, it's funny too, a bunch of debunkers went also. MC Tunes is a big one that Big Tech interviewed a couple weeks ago. And they were all making bets saying and making promises that if they went down there and there's no 24-hour sun, that they would delete all their videos, that they would put up a video saying the Earth is flat. And then, but did any of the flat Earth shills do that? No, they're barely ceding any ground at all. They're like, well, I'm wrong about that, but I'm still right about everything else, and it's definitely still not a globe. We've proven that. Like, you guys are. And then Owen sits here and goes like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being totally wrong and a lying asshole to everybody. Like, everybody's wrong sometimes. It doesn't mean it's not flat though. No, we just have to come up with a new model. It could be a million different models. It could be anything. Like, you're so gay.
Owen's out there right now saying that the one of the biggest debunks for the globe is that snipers don't take into account the Coriolis effect, which is the curve and or rotation of the Earth, which he says he was taught that as a kid, which proves that the Earth's spinning. But then he grew up and he claims that he knows 3 high-level snipers. He says, trust me, guys, I know these people. And I talk to my bros who are high-level snipers, and they've never even heard of that. They don't take into account the Coriolis effect. They told me that it's bullshit. That's how I know that the Earth's not a globe. The problem is you can go on YouTube and you can watch dozens of videos of snipers showing you how to calculate for the rotation and curve of the Earth when they take these long shots, like over 2 miles. The bullet's in the air for 10 seconds. And they have to, the Earth is curving under the bullet because it has conservation of momentum. It travels in a, straight vector. And I've even sent Owen, I sent him 2 different sniper apps. They have like these ammo companies make apps that you can use for calculating the shot. And it has GPS for calculating the weather and the air density and the wind and the direction of the wind. And in every single one of these apps, there's always a space where it takes into your geographical location and the direction you're shooting, and then it calculates for the curve and rotation of the Earth on this shot. Even the sniper's apps have it built into it. And you can show it to Owen, and he'll just look the other way and says, trust me, bro, I know 3 snipers, and they told me it's bullshit. Well, does he bring him on the show? Does he prove it? No. He just makes stuff up, and then he believes his own lie. And they're all doing that. They're all just making stuff. Trust me, I went out to this location with my camera and my telescope, and I saw stuff that's too far away. Well, did you videotape it or something like that? Can you show it to me? Oh, I'll give it to you tomorrow. Whitsitt told me, remember, just wait till next week. I'm going to drop these videos. I've interviewed 3 different astronauts, and I caught them in lies. It's going to blow the whole thing wide open. Nobody's going to believe it. It's going to be so good. He told me that like 6 months ago, and I've been bugging him every month. Never produced any of them. But when he comes on my show, that's a big old smoking gun. He says, like, oh, dude, don't even worry about it. Trust me. I've got the astronauts on film. I've talked to them. Like when you get into space, he just says, just wait till you see my astronaut video. It's a way of deflecting with a lie, and you can never get them to back any of it up. They've got 100 proofs that the Earth's flat, but then if you ask them if they've went and watched the videos that debunk those 100 proofs, they go, what video? They don't look into the other side. They don't go try to understand what's wrong with their thinking. They just make up lies about lies, and then they double down and double down. That's it.
Now here's Jaron, one of the biggest Flat Earth YouTube channels. These guys are all still on YouTube, by the way. Also, great cover up, but you're all out on YouTube. Besides Owen's, like the only one that's not for different reasons. But he's got like 170,000 followers on YouTube, and they all say he's like the most, the least insane of the flat earthers with the most integrity. But here he is, admitting he's been totally wrong and peddling bullshit.
Sometimes you are wrong in life. And I thought that there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it. But I respect Will Duffy for being a stand-up guy, at least in the way that he kept saying it was true. I kept saying
Oh, and remember, Dave Weiss didn't go because Duffy is a quote-unquote literal demon.
It wasn't. He said, do you want to go? I'll take you. But I respect Will Duffy for being a stand-up guy, at least in the way that he kept saying it was true. I kept saying it wasn't. He said, do you want to go? I'll take you. And brought me here, and it's a fact. The sun does circle you in the south. So what does that mean? You guys are going to have to figure that out yourself. Don't listen to my beliefs or my opinion. It shouldn't matter to you. But at least you should be able to accept that the sun does exactly what these guys said as far as circles the southern continent. So that's about it. I realize that I'll be called a shill for just saying that. And you know what? If you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly believe there was no 24-hour sun. I honestly now believe there is. That's it. If you want to call me a shill, so be it. I'll live to see another.
See, these guys, these influencers are so scared. They're so locked in the cult and scared of being abandoned and attacked by these lunatics.
Oh, yeah.
As shills, that they're locked into the cult because they're so scared of being ostracized and having everybody attack them. They're all calling them shills and agents and satanic fraudsters. Right? Is this not obvious, the psychology and the group dynamic that's happening here?
Yeah, totally. They are literally locked in, like you said, like a cult, like a gang. It's blood in, blood out. Mm-hmm. If they speak bad about the cult, if they go against the cult mindset, if they are starting to create cognitive dissonance in the other cult members' minds, they will be attacked, ostracized, slandered, discredited, gossiped about, all the rest. So it's going to be bad for these two, both of them. Even just for going down there, they caught a lot of heat even for entertaining it because it was a thing being put on by globe believers. And to them, like, that's the enemy. That's like, it might as well be like a group of Satanists.
That's what Dave Weiss said. He called them Satanist, Antichrist, demons, and that's why he wanted nothing to do with it.
But I was going to say, it's like, imagine if somebody had a time machine that could go back to the time of Jesus and like witness the crucifixion or something like that and go when it should have happened. And then, but it's a Satanist, right? So there's a Satanist who has a time machine, and then some Christians are like, all right, we're going with the Satanist back to see. Like, that's how they see it to be, right? They think it's like, why would you get in a time machine with a Satanist to go see if Jesus is real? He's obviously going to trick you. Like, that's how they think about the Antarctica trip. And so they are looking at Will and Whitsitt, and they're like, why are you cooperating with these bastards? They're pissed.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear the rest
today,
of
and
this.
at least I know that I got to see it. And I just want to say thanks to Will. Through everything, you've been at least kind to me, and I appreciate that.
And Jaron's been kind to me, too. Jaron, you're welcome to come on the show, and I'd love to have you turn against the Flat Earthers. He had me on his show for 2 debates, and he was cool to me. He agrees. He's green-pilled on Christianity, too. So he's halfway there, guys, by the way. He's totally green-pilled on Christianity.
I appreciate the trip. If you guys want to, my whole master plan worked for getting a free trip out here and to, but no, it's amazing. I can't even tell you. Flying in was the best thing I've ever seen. So looking around, best thing I've ever seen. So, how could I give him a hard time for bringing me down here, $35,000 trip? It's been incredible. It will continue to be incredible. We've got some tracking mounts swinging.
The deal should have been that if you go down there and there is a 24-hour sun, you have to pay that $35,000. Or shut up on YouTube saying that you can't go down there and there's no 24-hour sun and all the videos are fake. That should have been the deal. But then none of them would have gone because they don't really have the confidence in the bullshit they say online. Right?
Yeah, they put no skin in the game.
Right.
There was no bet. There was no consequence for being wrong. They even made, like you said, with the contracts where he got his Jewish lawyer, Jonathan Gross, to come and write the contract for him. It was all about protecting him from being even humiliated. He's not
you
even
said
allowed
they
to
were
be
scared
mocked.
they were complaining about being filmed while they were there also.
They wrote it into the contract that the other Globers are not even allowed to film the Flat Earthers while they're down there because they're like, hey, if you do catch us being wrong, we don't want you to make fun of us afterwards.
Yeah, they're scared over the humiliation. I was thinking like we should be seeing some heated debates, like face-to-face debates. They got a lot of free time, nothing to do down there. I mean, they are doing some stuff, but we should see some debate footage.
It sucks that they're not doing that. They absolutely should. That's what should be going on Owen's stream right now.
Mm-hmm.
Owen should be hosting a debate between a Flat Earther and a Glober in Antarctica.
No, when he did host the debate between a Flat Earther and a Globe Christian, he interrupted and completely took the side of the Flat Earther the whole time and honked his horn and kept calling everything an ad hominem when it wasn't, and logical fallacy. He just Flat Earthers always just like to throw out straw man and logical fallacies when there's never any there. It's like one of their trademarks, right?
Yeah, if you insult them, if you say, all right, I think you just don't understand this, they'll say, that's an ad hominem. Or if you say, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Oh, that's an ad hominem. How dare you? Oh, that's all you have. Yet all day long, they'll say in the most passive-aggressive way things like, well, if you were intellectually honest, you would admit that you have no evidence for the globe. And so it's like they passively call you a liar. That's the main ad hom is like, oh, you're just lying. And anyway, they're all just fucking goobers.
No, a liar.
Hanging around seeing the sun. What does it mean? You have to figure it out. To me, it means that the AE map no longer works. But that doesn't mean that I'm right. It means that it could work. You'll have to figure out how, because I've tried and I struggle with it.
Good luck with a new model, which they didn't even have a model, by the way, and they could make no predictions with that model at all. It's all a fucking joke.
The other thing is,
and then they're wishy-washy little fence sitters like Owen and goes like, "Well, I'm not making a claim. I'm not adhering to a model. I'm just saying we can't know anything. And if you do think you know anything, you're in a religion. If you think you know anything, you have faith and you're in a religion too. So." Owned. It's so stupid.
Is a 24-hour moon. If that happens, you got another thing we got to worry about. So it seems like the moon does circle.
You have everything to worry about.
So you start thinking about that as well. It doesn't mean that AE map is over, flat Earth is over. Maybe somebody's got the answer. I don't have that answer.
Nobody has the answer, and it should be over, dude. Just fucking. This is your chance to get out.
Just want to say thanks again. Appreciate it. Thanks, bro. Yep.
Oh, that hurts. The humble pie, big old slice of humble pie right there. And here's Owen being a little reply guy trying to share his comedy. Did you see this one yet? Credit Dave McKeegan, a debunker. Here's the time lapse of the 24-hour sun. And the copes are, Dave Weiss says, oh, I think they're projecting a light in the sky. It could be a sun simulator. It's a green screen. There could be a model where there is a 24-hour sun down there. They just can't admit that they were wrong, so many of these people.
I saw in one of the replies somebody took a freeze frame from this. There's one frame where somebody right there. Somebody walked in front of the camera where it blocked the sun for like 1 second, and they're saying that was probably an edit. This is fake.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, there was one frame where the guy walked in front of it.
Pretty sick gear there. Oh, and this is probably the camera that has, they're like, oh, you have to have a solar filter and point it at the sun the whole time so you can see that it's the actual sun and not a fake sun in the sky.
Yeah,
These
that's that
people are
camera.
so fucking. And then they tried to cater to every little one of their demands, and they're still gonna move the goalpost.
Yeah. Yep. It's like the fact that we're even having to do this is a disgrace.
I know. But hey, dude, they literally, flat Earth is more popular than Jesus never existed on the internet.
Think about this. This is one of my favorite
And that's
things
by
to think
design. You guys realize that, right? There's more people promoting flat Earth, more content creators, more engagement, probably botted, much of it, that believe, more acceptance. It's easier for people to have a debate or platform somebody that's a flat earther than to say Jesus is fake and invented by Jews.
So here's my favorite scenario. I'm the secret Jew that runs the world, right? My name is Abraham Israel Doucheberg, right? And I'm sitting in my dark room, eating foreskins of the circumcised goys, and I flip on. I'm looking at the news and like, oh, everything's going great. Look at this. Donald Trump he's doing everything I want him to do. This is perfect. Let's see, what are these nasty anti-Semites up to? And they're down in Antarctica trying to find out if the Earth's flat or globe.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, the stupid sheep goyim will believe
this
anything.
Is my opposition? Everything's going perfectly.
Yeah, it's like not even, they're just laughing and it's not even a
Fucking
contest.
idiot cattle morons can't even figure out they have no fucking clue. They're not even to first base. This is perfect.
Drum and Bass World says, guys, the only solution for flat Earth is to bring back pagan sacrifices. This is all a psyop to revive pagan support. Yeah, we're just trying to hide. A lot of these guys say it's the Jews that are covering up that we live on a flat Earth, and it's the globe is a Jewish deception, ignoring the fact that the main goal of Judaism is to have all of the world believe in their God that chose them. Why would the Jews be covering up that we were created? It doesn't even make logical sense as a theory. All the countries around the world collaborating together to cover this up. It's just Satan planting all of this evidence to make us think that we're really there. God's just up in heaven like, no, my people have been deceived by Satan. I can't do anything about it. Thank you, Dave Weiss and Owen Benjamin and Witsit Gets It and Eric Dubay for trying to wake up my children. Like, narcissist, delusion, paranoid, fucking schizos. Sycamore Knox says flat Earth is ridiculous. Curved oceans, a la Google Earth Pro is mind-boggling, moronic. Let's see. Andrew says, my two favorite guys on the internet. Thank you for the constant information and entertainment. Y'all give me hope. You guys give me hope. The fact that there's few hundred of you that actually get it in the world. Without you, it would be even more blackpilling than it already is. Okay. Oops. Now, here's another one. This is a funny highlight from Jaron.
But everybody we asked so far, these employees were like, so what time's the sunset? They're like, what? What time's the sunset? They're like, the sun just goes around, bro. The sun just circles you. We're like, yeah, but what time does it set over there? They're like, no, it doesn't do that. So, and they want to have a meeting with us to talk to us about it because they can't believe that anybody would ever believe that the sun sets.
They can't believe you're that stupid.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest things in the first day. They're all saying, yeah, there's a staff who just like works down there. There's scientists and whatever in Antarctica. They're like, so you're down here for what? Yeah,
they're like down there in the middle of nowhere. They never see anybody, and all of a sudden there's this expedition of brave adventurers. And why are they there? For the stupidest fucking reason imaginable.
Yeah, like seriously? Like you guys think the Earth's flat? You came here to find out if it is or not?
So they brought a bunch of mental patients here, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
All right, this is funny. I said there's no recovering from this. Witsit, Flat Earth Dave, and everyone else promoting Flat Earth insanity will be known as gullible, dumb kooks, or lying grifters. And we should not let anybody helping to rehabilitate these guys after being wrong about all this. I like what you wrote, too. Tough Flurf Genius. Austin Witsit shares on latest live stream from Antarctica that he has scientifically proven himself to be an embarrassing moron. Will he now admit he was wrong about everything? Will the boiled hot dogs in his head freeze? More to come as the story unfolds. What's with the boiled hot dogs in his head?
Well, he's just got hot dogs for brains. He's just like,
okay.
that's his brains. He's just an idiot.
Somebody, did you see the pictures where they have him next to like the guy in which cartoon was that? Was it Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or the Snowman? Rudolph Adventure guy.
What does he look like? One of the elves? Or
Yeah,
something?
he looks just like the character from the Scottish looking dude. I'll find it.
You name it. The sun is going to totally just. We are in Antarctica.
And this punk said I lost to one of his flat Earth Christian identity friends in a debate. He's like, if you're honest, you got to admit he totally got destroyed. And he obviously he didn't, and I destroyed him, and you were wrong about that, and you're a piece of shit. And you owe everybody a big apology, and you need to disappear off the internet because you have no credibility.
3-4 different compasses the whole way. And they said we were flying south the whole.
Oh yeah, that's the other cope, is that they're not really in Antarctica. They're in some other, place, and they're being tricked. NASA set up a fake Antarctica with a fake sun in the sky, and they took you there. Or they're saying, oh, they're clones. They killed them and cloned them, and they gave them code words to say if they were being blackmailed or if they weren't really who they say they were. These people are lunatics.
Yeah, wait, let me tell the audience about that. So I was eavesdropping in their Discord while Witsit was getting ready to go, and he was referencing the fact that they had a secret call with like some trusted individuals apparently before the Antarctica trip, where they're talking about how they were developing code words and signals that he can give to them when he comes back that will let them know whether or not he's been compromised. Meaning like there's federal agents or NASA, GlobeLie, leaders or controllers or something. Like, what if he gets blackmailed while he's down there? What if he gets captured and threatened? What if he gets cloned or something? They want to be able to confirm when Witsit comes back. If he comes back saying that there was a 24-hour sun, or if he comes back and now he's a globe believer or something, they're going to have a way of testing to find out if this is really him. They're really actually on that level of schizoid paranoid. They're afraid that he's going to be blackmailed and compromised or cloned or something. So if he comes back and he's a glober, part of the prep, part of their cope is they're going to say, that's not even really him anymore. Witsit died when he went to Antarctica. He was replaced by a clone or an AI or something. And this new guy who believes in the globe isn't even the real Witsit. His testimony's unbelievable because, well, why would we believe his testimony? He was obviously blackmailed while he was down there. They probably threatened his family, and they threatened to kill him and his children, his wife or something. And that's why he said there was a 24-hour sun. That was probably filmed in a studio, and now he's complicit in the psyop because they blackmailed him. Mm-hmm. They were getting ready to do that.
They already are. They were doing it before they went.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here's the guy from the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, there he is. That's funny.
Yeah, he's the guy. He finds the snowman, the abominable snowman, or whatever.
The Viking adventurers of old would travel the ocean in a wood boat to discover new lands, and our modern day Vikings go to Antarctica to be embarrassed and humiliated for peddling bullshit.
Love it when life imitates art. That's great.
Eucorn Cornelius, is that the guy's name?
Oh yeah, Yukon Cornelius. That's
great name.
Was it Prospector?
Military grade compass, you name it. The sun is going to totally just burn my face during the stream. I'm sitting right here telling you that it's real. Let's see what you guys. If you guys got a question, just ask me. Can you clarify? Is there a 24-hour sun, and whether or not you have seen yourself personally yet? There is 100% a 24-hour sun, and I have seen it personally. Yes. So at this point, I've been here for over 24 hours. The sun has not set. I've personally been here since 4 p.m. yesterday. The sun has not set. Not only has it not set, bro, it's like it stays pretty high up in the sky. Now, the question is it too high? That's a good question. Let's check the elevation angles, but it seems to bounce right around where it's supposed to, which is 13 to 34 allegedly.
Imagine still trying to like drag your feet and act like, there could be another problem here. Something else I don't understand that I want to make a big deal out of that's nothing.
Confirm 100%. No questions asked. At where we are, there is a 24-hour sun. 100%. Did the sun make it to the horizon? No. Interesting that you're looking at the sun and I'm looking at the sun in New Jersey. Yeah.
Yep. Flat Earth map destroyed. Oh, and then this one too. Irritating, self-righteous idiot scammer Witsit says that if you are having fun and taking a victory lap now that the flirfs have been proven wrong in the most satisfying way possible, you are in fact the toxic person. Stay tuned for more updates. Look at this, dude.
What? I will say, for one, let's say that the Earth was a globe. Like all the people that have been running around acting super crazy and insanely toxic for years about it.
I mean, the people that were right, that you were berating as brainwashed idiots, like a total asshole, an arrogant asshole, laughing and scoffing at everybody. Dude.
Acting super crazy and insanely toxic for years about it. That are like now like taking some victory lap, whatever. Like it, what? Like that would make you super lame. You know, like you know, and toxic. So
you're lame and toxic.
So the people that are running around,
like all the people that have been running around acting super crazy and insanely toxic for years.
Crazy and toxic like you, when you were confirmed wrong, and now he's gonna, instead of saying he was an idiot and toxic, the people that are now saying we told you so were the bad ones. I mean, are we supposed to have some sympathy and have some consideration for not mocking mentally ill idiots? Is that the angle he's going for now?
With it, still doesn't get it that it's actually him. You're the one who's been insane. You're the one who's been toxic. It's like it, but he'll never get it. Same with Owen. These guys, you're just like. And
Owen's like, I'm so proud of you. You have so much honor. You're so brave.
Yeah,
like, and he's still saying this shit.
Jerk. Yeah.
Yeah.
About it. That are like now like taking some victory lap, whatever. Like it. What? Like that would make you super lame.
Yeah. No, running around being toxic and lying and being crazy like you did is lame. And now you blaming us is lame. They got to him. So lame.
This guy's been making rap songs about how the Earth's flat and how he's the only one who knows the truth and everybody's stuck in a lie. He's done endless debates that he's never lost a debate while referencing that there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica, by the way. So he wins debates with incorrect facts. But yet we're the ones that are toxic.
And Owen says the same thing. I'm just a big meanie to call these guys a bunch of lying idiots.
I know.
Yeah.
But I want to know.
Oh, and yeah, and everything with them is a psychological projection, by the way, too. Every accusation is a confession, just like you saw with Witsit right there. It's almost like they really can't help themselves, and they are just got, mental issues that they are able to project this much.
Why?
Remember, everybody.
Know.
I was gonna say I'd like to just remind everybody while we're going through this because we've been into it for a little while. It's not about being obsessed about the globe. It's not about being obsessed about being right. It's really about drawing a couple parallels between the flat Earth craziness and the Christian craziness. It's really sort of the same thing. It really, really is. There's like a lot of similarity going on. It's the same type of problem in people's minds that we're dealing with. And also, it's about understanding the need. We're trying to highlight the need to purge this type of thinking from these spheres, these conversations. Like if the people really want to know what's going on in the world and maybe make some changes, if you really want to understand how the power structure works and how they're getting away with things that we don't like, and have these conversations and maybe try to organize some sort of movement to get people hip to it and make a difference. I'm trying to discourage people from tolerating this type of thinking, these types of people, because it's endless distraction. It actually is truly toxic. Like the accusation is a confession there. Witsit and his friends are the ones that are toxic. They're muddying the water. They're confusing everybody, ambiguating the terminology, creating all sorts of distraction and problems where there should be clarity, disambiguation of terms, unity of vision and purpose. Like those are the types of things that are going to be able to make a movement or a message strong. But when you tolerate all these kooky weirdos, the last consequence was maybe even is the worst one, is that there's tons of people that would be great allies to us who are clever, they're sharp, they're smart, they're educated, but they will never, ever come to these conversations. They won't even talk to us, let alone allow us on their platforms. Things like this. We already have enough to deal with the taboo words that we want to say or the taboo subjects we want to talk about. The last thing we need is also a bunch of psycho liars, weird scammer, grifter, idiot, like kooks and quacks hanging out with us. Like if we could clean that up, so disassociate from that a bit, turn the volume down on that kind of thing, maybe we'd stand a chance in a room with some serious people.
Nope. Yeah, it's time to get serious. And so many of the people that believe in flat earth are Christians and also promote all the Christian kooky stuff like Khazarians and Synagogue of Satan and Jesus wasn't Jewish and Christianity is like super anti-Semitic. Real Christianity is all anti-Semitic and shit. You worship the Jewish God and believe they were chosen. You're only anti-Semitic to play villains and useful idiots. But this is what you have to say. Of course, we're the problem, not these liars that are proven wrong. We're just being mean. Forget the fact that this guy has been throwing shade and talking all types of shit since I pushed back on him the tiniest bit a few months ago when I had him on to talk about his special. I challenged him on not talking about the Jesus deception while shilling flat earth, and he lost it and did hours of streams mocking and spinning and lying about what happened.
But I want to know, why are Globe guys so fucking mean? Like, take Adam Green. But I want to know,
just a big meanie poo.
Guys so fucking mean. Like, take Adam Green. But I want to know.
That was so mean of you to question, to ask him a couple questions on stream.
Yeah,
that was so mean, Adam.
Aaron, get in.
So Flat Earth Dave, who is made a lot of money shilling his Flat Earth app that he's preying on Owen's audience and using Owen's Hollywood status clout to promote Flat Earth, to promote himself. He's using you. He's taking you for a ride. He's got Duper's Delight using you like his golem to shill his app and to shill his they just created a new crypto coin as well, the Dome coin. And you're not going to call out Owen criticizes crypto guys, all crypto bros all the time, but then doesn't bring up his crypto scam. And this is what
this guy's just ripping people off. Yeah, he's what I've heard is this guy's made 6 figures selling his scam Flat Earth app. I've watched videos of him on my stream. He's getting in, he's talking to like high school teachers. He's going into children's classrooms, teaching them that the Earth's flat and shilling his app the whole time. He's gone on with Roseanne recently. He went on with Jim Brewer. He's trying to get in with all of the sort of the quacky, kooky Hollywood conspiracy theory group people. He gets to go on all the comedy podcasts.
Witsit gets to go on Tim Pool and the Quartering and do these. Because you're no threat at all. They're just bringing you on for content to laugh at you. But then they still benefit because they find a couple of the straggling retards that fall for their pillful tricks.
But Witsit, it's so shameful that we have, like, Witsit thinks kind of like a white guy where he's sort of just like, he's a true believer or whatever, which is even more embarrassing. It's just so retarded. Same with Jaron. But this Flat Earth Dave guy, he knows that he's lying. He just knows that he's full of shit. He doesn't care. And it's all about an angle for him to sell his app and his crypto coin scam. So he's just, come on, Goya, buy my app, buy this coin, buy Dome coin. And he's just making money. Like, he used to be a salesman. He sold solar panels and now he sells flat earth gear. And so, I mean, we have and here is Owen with the Jewiest guy in flat earth. He's the only guy who's really selling stuff. He's making himself rich off of it. And Owen can't stop promoting him.
And shitting on me and then promoting Dave Weiss. The laughing stock of the internet, the Jewish guy. After he was on my show, he said something about, like, if I went to a synagogue, I would get a round of applause. and they would boo Dave Weiss. We've got the clips of them saying that I'm Amalek because I don't believe in the Torah and I oppose the Zionist Torah Yahweh agenda. That makes me Amalek, their ultimate enemy. Dave Weiss gets promoted on all these big shows. He's allowed on YouTube, but the synagogue loves me. They love him promoting a Jewish cosmology, firmament, and all the flat earth shit he tries to promote from the Bible. Selling Jesus, the Jewish messianic religion. They would give he's the Jew, they would give him the round of applause. And Owen is sweeping and shilling for this guy. How many times has Flat Earth Dave been on his show? How many times has Owen had somebody on to talk about the Jesus deception or had me on? Never. So
Yeah,
you suck, you're dumb, you have no street cred, and everybody thinks you're a clown. And they're laughing at you.
Owen's about promoting his he needs his fans to be desperately clinging to him, right? He's got like this trauma bonded audience. So he doesn't want to bring in some clarity. He doesn't want to have to face some facts. He wants to talk to people who will worship him and tell him that he's right and agree with everything that he says. So that's why he brings on Dave and Whitsitt. We get it.
But Dave had a good excuse not to go on this trip and prove himself wrong, because the guy, Duffy, who seems like a nice guy and the whole trip was going smooth and fine, he says Duffy is a literal demon.
How did Whitsitt Gets It and Jaron get invited there? What are they trying to prove? Who's behind all of it? What are your predictions? What's the public reaction? Like, just tell the story, because some people might not know.
So the story is this pastor this alleged pastor who, in my opinion, is literally a demon, came out
literally a demon, because demons literally exist, right, guys?
But nowhere, and said he's gonna settle the flat Earth debate, and he came up with a thing called the final experiment. The first email we got before he even announced it, I just got this feeling. I said, please count me out. Don't mention my name. I'm not interested.
He just got this feeling that his grift was about to be exposed. He sells shirts that say, "You're not stupid, they're stupid." Is that what it says? Or the globe is stupid?
It's stupid.
Yeah, you're not stupid, it's stupid is his shirt, which would be a great shirt to sell to a bunch of stupid people.
Yeah, stupid people love buying a shirt that says that they're not stupid.
Yeah.
That's his whole brand. His whole brand is talking to stupid people and telling them, don't worry, you're not stupid. Everybody else.
If you have to wear a shirt, if you're wearing a shirt that says you're not stupid, guess what? You're stupid.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And so he did a whole thing, and he said, they took a vote, and number one pick to go was David Weiss, right? Pretty popular, I guess. And I said, nope, not interested. And it's not because it's going to ruin my grift, my Flat Earth Clock app grift. It's because it's not an experiment and it's not final. It's just an observation of the luminaries in the sky.
And there was Antarctica programs.
Look at this, dude. It debunks your fucking logo of your whole grift. You can't go to Antarctica and have a 24-hour sun and this pizza disc be real. So everything you've been shilling your whole career online is a fucking disproven, debunked lie, which we all knew it was a lie to begin with. And he's going to go, oh, it doesn't mean anything. It just means there's light in the sky and we could be on anything. And just shut the fuck up. And Owen, you're a piece of shit for helping this guy after all of this.
Let's go.
Where the Jews were
this
really
is kind of funny, though.
Persecuted by the Penguins. So, Jews going to Antarctica
I didn't feel safe there with that.
Exactly.
I didn't feel safe there. Right. I didn't feel safe there. So,
and final experiment usually does not go well with Jews. It's a branding thing. Okay, go on.
Right. So I equated to the guy in front of the window.
Solution.
The final solution. No, it's the final experiment. The Nazi bases, they're trying to lure him down there, the Nazis behind the ice wall, to drink his blood and stop him from waking up all the goyim.
This van, hey, you want some candy, little boy? I'm like, no, thanks. And that's discernment, right? And I didn't turn it down because I was afraid. It is the first.
Dude, he says that this guy's saying, want some candy, little boy, in a white van. You're the one that does that. You're selling flat earth books for children. You're the creepy dude in the van. Hey, you want to learn about flat earth? You want to turn schizophrenic? You want everybody to think you're crazy? You want to buy my app? You're the creepy dude in the van. And Owen just sitting there like, yeah, man, you're totally great. Flat Earth Dave is a good guy. He gets it.
Observation. That we can call it that. And I turned it down, and Jaron and Austin, who are actually better qualified to go, taking the measurements, they're much more technically inclined than me. They know how to work with their hands.
Yeah. The guy that probably got a D in high school science classes that can't even do the instruments and the tests and the science and whatever, as he admits right there. He's not the best guy to go down there and prove it's real, but he's the best guy to wake up the world about flat Earth and tell you that all the scientists all around the world throughout time, they're all satanic liars. And imagine believing this guy. It's disappointing to see Owen is just like torpedoing his street cred, going to bat for this fucking fraud. It's disgraceful.
Yeah, he doesn't have any street cred, though. Come on. No,
he would have a lot more if it weren't for this.
Yeah, it's totally true. This could have been his exit. This could have been his lane, but he doesn't want to. Owen doesn't belong in polite company. He doesn't belong with normal people. He can't come back to mainstream. And the reason why is not because he wouldn't be accepted. It's not because they wouldn't welcome him back if he repented and
he wouldn't be the special boy.
Right. Yep. Because he would have to just deal with regular people and he would seem like an idiot because he kind of is. He always was. He was but he's found a niche to where like he's banished himself off to the wilderness where he can be with the wild retards and they all worship him out there. So he doesn't want to come back into town. He doesn't want to work with other people. He doesn't want to tell the truth. He wants to live in weird cuckoo land where he's got a few sycophantic people who will stay with him.
And that's trans Earth. He wants everybody to support his trans Earth pronouns.
Yeah.
So I'm not good at that. And so they're actually.
Owen's laughing right now, I think, because he's like, dude, you're supposed to be the science guy that knows all of this, and you're admitting that you don't know science or anything. And Owen's just laughing like, God, this guy's such an idiot.
And so they're actually more qualified to go and make this observation. But the thing is, looking up
like,
at the light,
all of these idiots that support me and Flat Earth Dave are just total retards. Like,
it's in the sky doesn't do anything for the shape of the Earth, right? It doesn't tell you the shape of the Earth, right? Imagine this. Oh, and I got this.
It does. One side of the planet is lit, the other side is dark. And it ain't your fucking stupid fake God created a firmament light in the sky that's rotating on a fucking metal arm or whatever shit you believe. They don't even. Okay. Owen Benjamin. Oh, this is funny. Did you see this one yet?
I don't think there's a circling sun. I personally think they're going to try to fake it. Not with the stupid sun simulator. That's a red herring. I think that they're going to try to project something in the sky, if the skies are even clear at all. But either way,
this was the day before they went. Well, the skies were perfectly clear, and they've got to silence these bullshit pushback that you try to do. They've got the solar filters and telescopes looking at the sun, showing you can see the sunspots and whatever else. It's the same sun. Like, we all have seen the sun our whole lives. We know the sun when we see it. They're not putting a fake sun in the sky, and it's not a light projector. Where's the real sun then? If they got a projector in the sky, where's the other sun? It's so stupid, dude. Owen needs to be. Oh, he kind of does. We'll play the clip where he says that your whole thing is torpedoed. At least he says that, but then he's still trying to sweep for all the rest of it.
Hey, the motion of the lights in the sky don't prove the shape of the floor.
I agree with that, but I will point out.
He agrees with it.
Agree with that, but I will point out one thing, just so I keep my street cred with Adam Green, is showing evidence of a spinning ball is.
I don't think there's a circling sun.
It's so funny that he thinks that I have any street cred, and then he tried to say, "Oh, I'm a comedian, and it's a joke. That's supposed to be funny. Having street cred with Adam Green is funny. That's the joke. Does that make you flurf squirt?" It was kind of funny. It's funny that I have to be the one that tells you to stop being an idiot promoting this fraud. That's what's so funny about it. And here's Dave. This is what Dave always does. This is why they're literal demons. Is he says any normal person, normal people that know we live on a globe, to him are satanic antichrist demon trolls.
On a globe map, it's right here. So they're just going right there.
Yeah.
Right? That's not that crazy. They're just going to the shoreline there. And so.
You mean the place that you said they couldn't go? And they've been lying for years, saying that nobody's transversed it when people have. They've been saying you could do experiments with boats going around it when they have. Dude. I'm not talking about flat earthers again after this, by the way. This is the final experiment and the final video, because nothing else needs to be said. Are you going to back? And you've been covering it a lot recently, but actually maybe we have to keep the pressure on them now. We can't let them off the hook now, because they're going to try to fucking sweep and backpedal and move the goalposts. And
it's only beginning for me now, because now it's the payday. Now it's harvest season. So now I get to watch them. I get to drink their tears for the next few months. I get to watch them. They're going to get into battles with each other. They're going to start excommunicating people. They're going to split up into factions. They're going to come up with new weird copes for why there was a 24-hour sun down there, strange theories. They're going to start getting
retarded new models.
Yeah, the new debates that come up now. The Globe people get to say, but you were wrong about the 24-hour sun. You got owned. And then they're going to have to find out a new way to argue that. It's going to be hilarious.
In the same week, all the flat earth idiots get totally humiliated. And then the Groypers and Nick Fuentes get disavowed by the Catholic organization, all in the same week.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm stocking up on popcorn.
And Trump's more Zionist than ever, talking about attacking Iran and all the nominations. It's just like, people need to realize, decipher the idiots from the people that know what's going on.
Whatever this is, it is a complete and total psyop. It is, because, this pastor, listen, whether the pastor believes the earth is a globe or not, well, first, he's a pastor. He wants to go by the Bible. The Bible is a flat earth book. But he's surrounded himself with the most scummy scum of the earth, all of the worst globe trolls. I don't want to mention their names because it's just horrible, but he's surrounded himself with all of these people. And the people he has close to him are literally the worst antichrist, satanic atheists on earth. And this pastor, those are his advice.
See, so this is what it's all about. And then I say this is all Jewish, and they go, it's not Jewish. How could you say that? It's not Jewish. You're a pastor. The pastors, you gotta believe in the flat earth from the Bible. And if you don't believe in it, you're an antichrist, satanic. This is just more Christian bullshit. That's why we're covering it, because it's so much overlap with Christian bullshit.
That guy's not even a Christian. This Dave guy.
Yeah.
But he's just using, this is what I mean.
He's Jewish. He's a Jewish trying to manipulate Christians with Christianity.
Yeah, he's like a secular agnostic Jew who's not religious at all. But if he thinks that he can manipulate you by calling things demonic and satanic and antichrist, he'll say it. It's just all grift.
Drum and Bass World says, listen up, Globe guys. Gonna need you to stop being so mean to the dudes who call every scientist on Earth and in history a liar. Corn Pop the Bad Dude says, next time you have a chance, ask Owen where... I'm not talking to Owen again. Ask Owen, where does warmth come from? Is this... Dude, I tried to be good faith with him. He lost that privilege. He's not good faith. I want nothing to do with scam artists, liars, and their promoters and enablers. Corn Pop the Bad Dude says, next time you have a chance, ask Owen, where does warmth come from? Is the sun a giant hot iron they hooked in the sky, Owen? Well, I don't know. It could be anything. It could be a... Oh, dude, actually, I have a clip of him saying what he thinks the sun is, and it's so retarded, I had to clip it.
Let's go.
I'm going to post it right now. Dude, I can't believe it. Can you talk? Or let me play another video
says
while
that
I
all
look
the
for that.
time. Well, I got a clip I haven't put up to. I'll follow up with yours. I'll pin you in it. From one of his comedy sketches several years ago when he used to do actual comedy on stage. He has a bit that he does about his dad. And he talks about how his dad, it's a setup for a joke, but it really spells out exactly what Owen's doing. where he's got this this Jewish academic father or whatever who was a master of logic, like a rhetorician or something, and he was making a career out of proving that you can argue anything even if you're wrong, and you can win anything even if you're wrong. So the point is, you don't have to be correct, you don't have to have accurate facts. It's all about how you use your words. So that's why Owen's so obsessed with this whole spellbreaker thing, and he hates his dad. But the weird thing is that Owen's just doing the exact same thing. He's just word juggle. He's doing it like it's a magic trick, like it's a performative sort of entertainment. Watch how badly I can mangle my words to make anything sound possible. And so I can destroy the globe by just speaking falsely in this creative way that bamboozles the audience. And then, so according to him, I've destroyed the globe. I've falsified it. I've said that so basically he just lies and lies and lies about the globe. And then he can, when he's talking about his side, he'll say, I'm not making any argument. I'm not making any claims. I'm not saying what it is. I don't have any kind of model. The world could be anything.
Yeah.
Which is not true. It can't be anything. It can't be a cupcake. It can't be an ice cream cone. It can't be a starfish. It can't be a donut. Like, it's not those things. We know there's a bunch of things that it's not. It can't be, it's not a fucking snowball. We know there's things that it isn't. It can't be infinite amount of things. It can't be anything. And in fact, it can only be one thing. There's actually only one thing the earth can be.
Yeah.
What it is. It can only be what it actually is. That's the only thing it can actually be, is what it actually is. All the other things that it's not, it can't be those things because it isn't those things. So determining what it actually is in question. And he's not interested in trying to determine what it actually is. He's trying to make linguistic word juggling possibilities for accepting false possibilities as real possibilities. It's really just like expert level, or not real expert, but I mean,
it's wizardry.
It's
that most people see right
sophistry.
through it. Yeah, sophistry.
I mean, it's Plato, Aristotle. This is what they were dealing with. This is where philosophy of logic comes from. It's just dealing with sophists. These people who are they will spin the argument in any creative way that they can to make it sound true, even though it isn't.
Okay, we'll play the clip on Owen's view of the sun in a second in regards to your super chat there.
And the funny thing is, they're all flying down there. All of the globers got there a day ahead of all the flat earthers. The flat earthers on a globe map.
And then he goes, oh, were they plotting something that they were there first? It's just like, dude, nothing happened. So you're just a total, you just digging yourselves an even deeper hole. Here's Owen's view on the sun. This is genius level stuff right here, guys.
The issue with 3D renderings. That's actually what I think the sun kind of is. It's almost like another dimension that we're looking at in our dimension, and we can't really see what it is, and our eyes do that all the time. Like, how
we can't see what it is? What are you talking about, dude? We've got telescopes with solar shields looking at them. We can see the solar flares, and then we see the solar flare, and then if we can time exactly when we're going to see the northern lights come through with the radiation.
No, man, it's a portal into another dimension where you can't see what it is, bro.
And we can't really see what it is, and our eyes do that all the time. Like, how we perceive an image versus what it actually is looks crazy,
So from here to here,
there it is.
See, look, he doesn't actually believe that. He's just going, these are things that I can imagine, and I can wrap my words around these weird ideas and make you think it's possible. Therefore, since this is possible, you have to disprove that, and you can't prove yours. So since you can't prove yours using words, and you can't disprove mine, it's all just word games. It's just like fucking logic magic tricks.
Pure Blood says he
thinks he's being clever and cool by doing it. He's literally just trying to show off with how it's so pathetic.
Pure Blood says, I was a Christian for the last 20 years. I have never met a flat earth Christian in real life. The pastor of the church even said the earth is not flat from the pulpit a few years ago. Of course not. Almost nobody thinks the earth is flat, and most Christians don't think the earth is flat. But most flat earthers are Christians.
Right. Yeah, they reference the Bible, the earth's on its pillars, the four corners of the earth, the firmament in the sky was laid out like a tarp, and blah, blah, blah. So they go to the Bible to prove that the earth is flat. And many of them are actually like, they believe that Jesus, when he ascended to the sky, he went up through the firmament. And
well, we hear all the time, too, with Whitsitt and some of his moronic friends. They say that they were atheists, but then they were convinced of flat earth, and that made them believe in the Bible. Which is even more retarded, embarrassing, and implausible.
Even worse.
Yep. So here is Owen. This is after. So that was before they were there. And now Dave Weiss is proven to be a bullshit con artist. And here's the little bit of criticism that Owen said about him.
And then, of course, you have the flat earthers that suck so bad.
And right before this, he was saying the globalists suck so bad and mentioning me. Like, me and Dave Weiss are not on the same level, dude. I'm right, and I'm a normal, decent person, and he's a lying, delusional con artist. And if you can't see that, that's your issue.
And then, of course, you have the flat earthers that suck so bad. No offense, Weiss. I like Weiss as a guy, but just admit that the 24-hour sun, torpedoes your model a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. You could immediately say, there could be 6 suns. Oh, it's a reflection. Yeah. It could be a million other things.
No, it couldn't be a million other things. It's like you criticize him and then gives him an out. Like, yeah, sure, it could be any infinite things it could be. No, it couldn't. None of those have any evidence. And the Globe has predictions and all the evidence. So it can't be a million other things.
But the thing you claimed it was, now it's not looking so good. And that's the whole reason that we got into flat earth. If you are a flat earther, I highly recommend you don't just double down on a model that now looks like it's not possible. Because if you can witness the sun for 24 straight hours in Antarctica, that means that it's not what you thought it was. And if you can't admit that, you're gay. And then, of course, you have
What does it make you about all the things that you can't admit, Owen? And then here's Dave Weiss, his post yesterday. Eric Dubé, another top flat earther, was just posting shit on Twitter and getting hundreds of likes like it was just another day. Not that he's completely proven to be a fucking lying fraud. Flat Earth Dave says, flat earth is true, and any man of the Bible or man that uses scientific method should know it. Dear Pastor. He made a video, Dear Pastor, for the pastor that probably organized this event.
Can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and this is what happens, too. Normies come in and go, like Jewish Power, Great Reset, MK Ultra, APEC corruption, ADL, and then they see all these retards saying Earth is flat and there's a firmament and they worship the devil and Jesus wasn't Jewish, and they go, you're silly, you guys are insane, and they walk away, and we get nowhere.
We should make a new version of that and replace the flathead guy with Austin.
Here's some of the flat earthers are putting together panels and coming up with their copes and throwing Jaron and Whitsitt under the bus.
But that's what I think. I do think that they're being duped to think they're at Antarctica. I don't think Union Glacier is really at Antarctica. I think it's at a different location, and it's placed as Antarctica.
Where? They think they're actually on the north.
So what other place can there be a 24-hour sun then?
Yeah, they're actually in North.
He put, because he knew people were already saying this to try to move the goalposts, he gave everybody GPS trackers, and you can see on the app where they all flew from, which already disproved or proved the globe model, I should say. Not only disproved flat Earth, but proved the globe model is completely accurate. And there's only one place they could be if you fly south for hours from the tip of Chile. But these guys look like real credible dudes.
Yeah, you're not actually. No, this is what I'm here for. I love this. We're going to just be watching the endless spiraling.
Yeah, well, we're done.
The weirdest, most bizarre copes.
I'm done right now. There's me. I copied my globalist. This is me with the moon in front of the globe, the beautiful globe Earth, floating in space, evolved from monkeys. It's just so beautiful and amazing what existence is. And here is me on my throne of telescopes that anybody can use to see all of the many of the planets in our solar system are also globes that rotate. But of course we're not. That's not evidence. That's just God faking stuff in this. That's Satan making you think that our solar system and the moon and the sun are all a bunch of spheres.
I just dipped on over to Owen's stream. I can't wait. I'm gonna go start my stream in just a minute. We have to go watch him with Witsit. He's coping so hard. He's now singing on the piano. It's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait to see it. Let's listen to one more minute of this.
Narcissistic personality disorder of like, if you're proven wrong, you immediately come up with a way you're still right.
You're describing flat earthers here, Owen. The projection is insane. You couldn't project any harder. It's like he's doing this as a fucking bit or something. This is his formula, is just to project everything. You guys are the narcissists that think you're the only ones that have the true truth, and that everybody else is brainwashed idiots under the globe spell, and you can't handle the reality and the truth. You're the one that needs the flat earth theories because you can't handle evolution and that there's no God and that we're on a tiny speck of dust floating in an infinite universe. You can't handle the reality, and you're the narcissist, and you can't cope with it. Narcissists are professional projectors. Exactly.
That's what I don't like about NASA, where it's like, oh, it's refraction. Or, oh, it must be.
All right, let's close it up there. That's a good way to end. Final thoughts. I don't need to hear your. So funny.
Oh, man. I'm Big Tech 404 on Twitter if you guys want to follow me on X. I stream on kick.com/Big Tech. That's where my stream is for multiple reasons. It's really fun over there. I do a nice I do sort of an entertainment live stream. We cover this kind of stuff, but I just try to keep it fun. We play music. We watch video clips. We make fun of flat earthers and other types of goofy retards, some of the groypers, things like that. But I just kind of try to keep the troops entertained. Sometimes we have a deep thought over there, but mostly it's just
you expose the Jesus deception.
Yeah, we do that too.
Most importantly,
yeah, for sure. You know what? Yeah, most importantly, absolutely. By the way, final thought. Next year is going to be really interesting. I think there's a lot of momentum going. There's a ton of people going to church. I've heard interesting, news reports about that. But there's also a ton of people who've really been taking a second look at it. It's really weird. So it's going to be both. But there's a big avalanche coming. There's an avalanche brewing. It really just takes one little push. And I'm predicting, right now before the new year, maybe I'll be back on before then, but let me make a New Year's prediction. Next year, we're going to meet the new player. Next year, a new stranger wanders into town. A new character arrives on the battlefield. There will be a new.
What are you talking about? I've never heard you say this before. What are you talking about?
See,
a new character. You're saying the Antichrist is coming on the scene? It's not Trump or Elon. Somebody else is going to come?
No, not the Antichrist.
Or Peter Thiel. Well, what are you saying? I don't. This is new. You know what? Everybody talk about it on your show. I want to wrap it up. I got to pee. My daughter's at the door. And if you want to hear
I'm just, yeah, I'll tell you. Come to my show.
I'm not ready for the new dissertation on your future man on the scene theory. Sorry.
It was gonna be so quick, I'll just
do it then. Finish it. Now
no.
Or we can leave them hanging, and they can go to watch you on Kick and follow on Twitter.
Yeah, if you want it, you got to come over to my channel.
Yeah,
that's where it's gonna be. I'm gonna tell you the secrets and let you know what's coming. Bye. See you guys later. Love you all. Later.
Thanks, everybody. Let us know what you think in the comments. I'll be back again tomorrow with the stream exposing paganism, Christianity, and Christmas. And I got a whole bunch of tabs I didn't cover today. I got to cover on another stream. And love you all. Thanks so much for the support. And I will see you guys again very soon. Take care. big fuck you to all the flat earth idiots. There will be no quarter, zero tolerance for your subversive distraction, kosher bullshit that makes everybody retarded. And to the incel groypers, you're disavowed by your own church. You're going to keep shilling Catholicism as the only way, or you're going to admit you were wrong and that's not the path forward? Are you going to keep kicking the can down the road, or are you going to pull up your britches and be some big boys and get serious and start listening to the people that actually know what's fucking going on?